Hello. What's up? Welcome to WARDITV Mondays 89. How are we doing today? My voice is not used to talking. Sorry, I didn't be so loud once I moved up. Hello. Alright, Mondays 89. I don't really know what we're going to cast first. I kind of feel like I already missed the interesting games because I was trying to do some admin stuff that I messed up. So we'll probably just wait around and see what becomes available, I guess, in the next few minutes. Cool. Cool. Sub Rambo. I inspired to write you to write the Schizo Manifesto. It's not worth it, man. It's not worth having an opinion anymore. So, yeah. It was a cool write-up, though. Yeah, I don't know what this Alarak guy is doing. He's just messing on. He's done it twice now, so I'm just gonna walk him over. Oh, I don't know what he's trying to do. I think he's just trying to screw up the bracket. What's up, DJ Chris? How you doing? What's up, Anka on the YouTube as well? Hello, guys. Maybe we could go Shameless Yakov. Anyways, we could maybe go Shameless Yakov. Be ready to go in and basically as soon as the players are ready. So that could work. Had Rift Band go over the weekend. Got second place again. I can't get my first place win. And keep losing in the finals. I think it's my third second place. I'm the Sue of Riftbound in the northeast. Of UK. God, my voice is like, I just need to like talk a bit. My voice is just not there at all. Holy. Excuse me, sorry guys. My voice is just having a good time at all. Jeez. I feel like I can. I feel like I should be able to see my results tomorrow, but I don't know how. Player profile. Yeah, that was my second place. I keep getting very close to the top. How many players? There was only 8 people this weekend, so it's pretty small. couple of people didn't go, but it wasn't super crazy. It was pretty small. But the people that were there were pretty good. The people that didn't show up were the people who were like probably the free wins. So yeah. I really thought I had it. I had a bad matchup in the final though. Next time. Alright guys, we're gonna go Shameless versus Yakov. They are just gonna veto. Obviously this was not set up. Or we could go Lambo versus Bjorn. That could also be kind of cool. Because apparently round 1's already wrapped up for Bjorn. What would you guys rather? Shameless Yakov or Lambo Bjorn? You guys can take your picks. Spam the chat. Lambro. I think they're both kind of cool. Lambo's been playing well lately now. Lambo Bjorn. Cool. You like this raspy wardy? No, I just haven't spoke for like 3 days. Apparently. My voice is just figuring out how it does this whole thing again, apparently. Alright, let's go Lambo Beyond then, guys. Let's go Lambo Beyond. Did I not reset my stream elements? You had 4 shows this weekend. Ay, ay, ay. PUBG working you hard, mate. Unbelievable. How dare they do this to our boy Kelaris? Do they not know who he is? Oh. Do they not know who he is? I just got an invite, but it was Nick Racksola, but I didn't even look at it initially. Invalid map. I don't know what this bug is when you try and join lobbies sometimes lately. Freaks out for a minute. Alright, Lambo Beyond. I'm gonna start up on Title Citadel. I have no idea how to do the closing ceremony. Hey, PUBG's like 10 years old now. How can they not know how to do a closing ceremony? What's going on? Alright, let's start off the day in the top left-hand corner of the map. We're going to begin things with the blue Zerg player. This is going to be from the Shopify Rebellion. In the Shopify Rebellion team girl, this is Lambo. I forgot my mouse is slippy. I've not observed since basically last week. I turned my mouse mat around because it's gone pretty scrappy on like the bottom right corner. So I've like flipped it, and now this new side of the mouse mat, it's really slidey. You guys have like, my mouse is like sliding over the mouse mat so fast. It's my accuracy is non-existent. I feel like I even need to turn down the mouse accuracy. It's kind of crazy. Anyways, Lambo is in the upper left-hand side. This is a Shopify Rebellion team kill. In not quite the opening round, this is actually round 2. Bjorn already kind of dispatched of his round 1 opponent. Lambo had a bye. And so into round 2 of this best of 3, we will go. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Round 2 of this competition, we go into a best of 3 TVZ. With Bjorn into the bottom right corner of the map. Alright, so Title Citadel again set up, hatch, gas, and spawning pool coming on into place as we get the command center first build from Bjorn. So he's going to be a little bit greedy. You know, maybe you expect this on some of the even bigger maps. Taito, I wouldn't say we're kind of typically expecting the command center first. So, yeah, it's definitely a little bit risky just because, I mean, it's not like Taito is a small map either. So we'll probably find it is kind of difficult to punish command center first. I feel like in ZVT as the Zerg player, it's like, what are you going to do? You're going to build some Roches against this. A lot of the time they have the action against that ready, specifically just because of the way the scout time works. By the time we know it's command center first, there's already been time where you could have been building the Roachron, where you could have been mining the additional gas to make sure you can afford the Roaches to truly be aggressive into it. In this case, by the time you're going to see this, it's just too late to really respond, and that's kind of the strength of Command Center First, that it kind of requires more of like a blind setup than anything else. Because otherwise, or blind answer, otherwise you kind of do just get away with it. There's still some Roach times I think can be powerful because you still are a little bit delayed setting up, but I don't think anything is like a... is truly like a super hard counter to this in this day and age that is scoutable and then being like, okay, well, let's just go kill him, you know? We do have the factory building up just in that main. So we have the factory building up, the reactor building up on the barrack, a couple of SCVs coming through. We have got the couple of queens just sitting out the front as well in the front of that natural expansion. And we just have our link speed building from Lambo. So he was going into gas, but very slowly, which is also why it feels like this was always going to be safe for Bjorn, because he was never going to have enough gas to truly build a super terrifying amount of roaches to try and truly make something out of, essentially, as the Marine. Needs to be up. These few Lings, always interesting, right? The Lings can go across the map because there's no Reaper. As soon as the Hellions out, this is fine. We're going to deny some mining time, so Lambo at least gets something in this scenario. We get something from that. Just going to throw another depot down. And we just have the Hellions are going to start prodding out. I mean, 2 of the Hellions get ready to make a move. Another couple of Hellions in production straight away. And that's going to be the start of things here. This game number 1. So the Hellions gather up. Zergling speed will be building on the spawning pool. And let's get that started straight away. I'm just going to see our Queen's drone still producing that link speed is still trickling along here. Got a couple of lava popping out. And Banshee and the Cloaking coming through. Just going to be seeing a couple of Hellions coming over. The orbital still building. And we just have ourselves the Hellions going to get back up toward the center of the map in the next few moments. Just going to see Cloaking, Banshee all in the way. And, yeah, the couple of Queens and the Lings very much so building their way through. It's very much just going to be these Hellions getting to the other side and getting ready to put some pressure on. So, Hellions get over here. We are going to see a couple of Queens in position. Just going to turn those Hellions away pretty much immediately. Hellions will make an attempt at the Zerglings for a couple of moments, and we get back around to the left. Just going to have those couple of Queens going to be there. The Lings are still going to work their way through the rocks. Working our way through this. Those Hellions just sitting back toward the middle of the map right now. As they hold back over here, Stimpack Cloaking on the way, the Banshee and the Marine coming through as well. Just going to see the Marines able to grab that Overlord. So the Overlord goes down already. Engineering bays will continue up. A couple of barracks will get placed into the main in the next few moments. And again, a couple of Hellions will still just be over here trying to deny these rocks from going down, just trying to deny this opening. I imagine because Bjorn would like to push, and when you push, if this set of rocks is open, it's going to be easier for the Zerg to have like an extra pathway to come down and surround with. So if you can deny these rocks from going down, you keep them up as a blockade, it just reduces the amount of directions that you can work in, basically, then as Lambo. So it's generally just a good thing for Bjorn. As we do have, the Stimpack, +1 attack upgrade, +1 armor upgrade all coming through. A few more barracks coming over. We are going to be seeing the Overlord is just sitting there overhead. Keeping an eye on these Hellions that float their way over toward the right side. 1-1 upgrade, Stimpack building through. Still just going to have the Hellions moving forward. The Lings going to get jumped on. A couple Lings going down very quickly. Hellions still join up. Just going to be seeing this Banshee up and around the top side. The Queen is going to gather together. And just going to be ready to go. I'm just going to be seeing the Banshee moving its way around for a couple of moments. So Hellions join up together. And we just have ourselves the 1-1 and the combat shield continue to come by. A couple of creep tumors being picked away at. A couple of the Zerglings going down as well. I'm just going to have ourselves the melee upgrades all coming about. The banding speed coming through. Just going to have the medevacs are going to load up. I have the Maestro logo on. Yeah, I know. I have to restart my StarCraft to get rid of it, so probably do it between games or between series. I'm probably not going to cast any of it anyway, so I don't really need to keep it even. I can't delete it until I actually restart my StarCraft as well. Ay, so tough. Just gonna have the Hellions on the left side going to be coming across, morphing to Hellbats, and we've got a tank or so just going to be coming by. So again, we get this all running as you have the Marines and the Hellbats pushing straight up onto these Queens. So this push coming in Not super committed by Bjorn, just has the Hellions from earlier, has an armory because he's ready to go 2-2, and so may as well just kind of get a bit of a push going. He's getting pretty good value out of this so far. It's going to be seeing the Marines are going to keep pulling back. A few Zerglings are going to come over. Just going to be seeing those Marines continuing to get jumped on as a couple of the Queens continue to get targeted. We will finally get this cleaned up as Lambo. And this is just going to be seeing the Medivacs loading back up and getting away. Well, we move another round of Banes in. Marine Tank Medivac still just going to make its way through, and this is the nice part of things, that Bjorn just did well enough on that first trade that the momentum of a second fight here is going to be good for him. The Banes just finish up in time, though, and the Banelings, okay, are going to get targeted by the tank. Running away from the tank's never going to be fun. Banes will stem. A few more Banes morphing, but they're kind of very in the open, so a few of them will go down before you even see them having the chance to get close to finishing. The Banelings that are ready are just not getting close. Obviously, the lack of creep spread here is an issue. That tank tucked in the corner currently sits at 16 kills and has been decimating those Banelings a few times over at this point. As now we stem in toward this hatchery. This hatchery is going to be going down. The Lings and the Banes turn back into this once again. Marines have to run away. Even if you clean this up as Lambo, it's just feeling like it's taken way too long and it's been way too expensive. We're now on a 27-kill siege tank that is still being held onto as the Lings actually took a volley as well, so they're going to be softened up. We dropped some changelings. That's not going to change much. That is just going to be, I think, enough. We do lose the siege tank that's been a hero in the corner. And all of this is still Bjorn just holding on without the reinforcement wave. Once that reinforcement wave shows up, that's going to be very, very powerful. Obviously, we've already dealt with the base now, so you don't necessarily want to keep pushing this direction. There's not much to gain. Instead, rallying around over here. By the way, just how important were these rocks that we mentioned earlier? He worked to make sure that these rocks stayed up. He did not let the Lings kill them. And as such, the wraparound from this right side was never available, which made all of these fights instantly easier for Bjorn, if nothing else, because he doesn't have to worry about a whole direction of attack. And I would say it just generally made it a lot better for him in general, as well as the Lings on the other side. We'll be able to get through there. That depot is down. A few Marines. Not in the wall, off a little bit in the open. I think this isn't going to do enough. We're going to kill a few reinforcements, but enough of these Lings are full on that this is realistically not looking great. What am I going to get a few kills? Yeah, we're going to be fine. Bjorn on the other side says, cool. Well, that means even less units to come and deal with this army. Queen's going to fight again. Queens will still take some damage. A couple of them starting to go down. The Ling Bane from the other side trying to come through. The Banes get shot at. A few Banes rolling in on the left. It's just going to be too much. GG's. And that is going to be Bjorn taking game number 1 of this BO3. Yeah, mate, I deleted your comment because you was just straight up insulting people. Like, there's a, like, you can be angry at the patch without telling people they're stupid. So, yeah, just chill out. There's no point fighting it anyway. It's not going to get you anywhere. Game 2. In a second here, as Lambo is going to host us up. Let's just send it. If we need ads, I'll snooze them. Tourmaline's not going to be a long game anyway. Cool. Alright, let's go into it and head into Tourmaline ready in GLHF. Getting underway, getting this started up. And getting ready to go. You didn't know I was playing Riftbound tournaments? That's cool. Yeah, I quit Pokemon, James. I quit Pokemon. I realized Riftbound's a much better game. He may go to the big lands, yeah? Has he done well? Probably know him if he's done well. I'm very into this right now. It's my fixation. So it's very, very fun. It's kind of funny. It reminds me of playing StarCraft. Excuse me. It reminds me of playing StarCraft. It's like there's so much working in play because there's so much interaction in the game. Obviously, it doesn't have the real time element to it, but like there's so much to do on your side that you can also interact with the opponent as well. Yeah, it was it's pretty sick. I'm enjoying it a lot. Very fun game. We got a couple of racks over on the left side. A third barracks coming over. He's going to be getting ready to throw that barracks down in a few moments. Bro Foamist, you should go to our StarCraft. I think you'll fit in well there. Alright. Triple Rax proxy from Bjorn as he set up on the left side, so just some cheeky build here on Tourmaline to try and get this one going super quick. Overlord is heading up the right side. And yeah, a couple of barracks still coming through. Orbital Command building, a few more Marines coming up. I'm just going to be seeing the Marines continue to crank out and rally toward the natural. So, Lambo is obviously clueless about this. The Overlord Pathing has missed it completely. The SCV will show up. We can start a bunker. And that obviously puts a bit of time and pressure on Lambo here, because if you don't deal with the bunker, then this entire scenario becomes difficult to deal with. Right now, it's tough to know exactly what this is. If this is 3 Rex versus 2 Rex, like, there's a little bit of a different way that you want to approach it. Against 3 Rex, the Rotron and giving up the natural is completely fine. So, just going to get this started. I was just going to see a couple of Marines just going to nibble their way through the hatchery. Make a 3rd Marine coming across there as well. A couple Lings going to take some damage. I mean, the bunker goes up. At the end of the day, this hatchery is going to go down. There's no saving this. Lambo has played to let this die. Like I say, that's kind of the whole point of just going into the Rotron. You don't have you don't get roaches in time to save the natural. If you want to save the natural, you've got to play a Ling Queen defense. So he's going to decide to give up the natural. And again, this is kind of fine because of the fact it's 3 racks from Bjorn. It's extremely committed. So Bjorn is not taking a super fast expand behind this. His gas that he just took is only just coming online now. So you can kind of allow the 3rd hatch to go down, get into some Roach Ravager, break out of here, have a scary army on the map that forces some defense from your opponent. Don't lose an Overlord, obviously. But then, you know, then you can just retake your expansion. It works out better than you'd think it would, right? It works out better than you think it would, as these Marines are just going to be working their way through a couple of on the low ground. We're going to get rid of 1. We're going to get rid of 2. And this entire natural getting cleaned out. So then, let's see how Lambo breaks out of this. He starts just the 1. Okay, now 4 roaches in total. He will also get Ling speed. He could have gone more all out in terms of just roaches. Oh, okay, Bjorn's going to build the concussive shells in the middle of the map and the Marauders. I always feel like this is such a risky play, because then you're really hoping that you never lose control of the map, because the barracks are not going the other way and getting back home. It does mean there's still a lot of units here, and you're going to be, you know, bunkered up as well, which is very nice. Second bunker coming into place. That concussive shells is over halfway done. We'll throw a corrosive bile down. Another corrosive bile just going to drop into place. SCV gets hit. And we'll see the bunker still taking a few more shots as the rest of the Bioforce is still stepping forward just a little further for a few more moments. A couple of Ravagers going to bile away at that bunker. A little bit more being done. Corrosive Vials again, just going to push the Marine Marauder out of here. Bile. I mean, this is the biggest issue Lambo has, is breaking out of these bunkers. If he can get through these bunkers somewhat successfully, fighting this army on the map may be manageable. Obviously, Stimpack just starts now. That's a while. Basically, that's the big timer I think you're aiming for as Lambo. If Stim finishes, you're probably in trouble. But if you can get forward and deny Stim, that's huge. And so, as you can see, he's got a little bit of time to do this. Obviously, right now it's being made a bit awkward because the Ravagers can't get enough biles off to kill the bunker off. Bunch of Ravagers. Is this going to be it? I think it is. So we can corrosive Val one of the bunkers down. The Lings want to wrap around on the actual bio units here. Try and get some actual value. That bunker never went down just yet. The Lings fall. There's not been enough. I think this is just good preservation of units. Well, we still have our Ravagers available, right? We knock this next bunker down. Ravagers can still trade pretty well here. They just go back and forth a little and trade out with those bio units. Lose this bunker. The Ravager's still trading decently. Like I say, ideally we get forward far enough here to realistically deny the Stimpack from finishing, right? And like I say, Bjorn is still very committed because he's still building all 3 of these racks on the map. Like, he didn't bring these back home and start setting up. He's continuing to rally units from that spot. So if you do get far enough forward here as Lambo, that's very good. The corrosive Biles are very good as well. Onto the Ravagers, and we actually get up close and personal. The Ravager's strength before was their distance from these units, and now that gets taken away from you Lambo is probably going to start losing just a little bit too much. Another Ravager going down, another Corrosive Bile dropping in. Getting Concussive Shell and getting those units brought up close and personal, like I say, it takes so much of it away. And now you're going to have a much tougher time having enough units here as Lambo to truly go forward in the fight. You've got the Stim Pack available, so these bio units will trade just a little bit better than they did before. And I think every single Ravager you see going down right now is going to be an extremely pricey one. Another couple of Corrosive Biles coming into place. And like I say, I mean, we are going to, maybe clean this bio army up, but the bio army keeps growing. And now the fact that Lambo is still just a one-base Zerg starts to kick in more and more. This is the stage at which him being that one-base Zergy situation is truly going to become an issue. Back at home now, there's a factory coming up as well, starport building. Like I say, it's still scary if you lose the middle of the map and you lose your barracks production. It puts you in a bit of a rough position. I just think Bjorn's taken a good enough trade that is now not going to be the case. That's now not going to happen. And if that's the case, then, yeah, if that's the case, then I think we're looking pretty good here. A few more Lings coming up, that hatch coming through, the bio still gathering up in the center of the map. A few more Marines, another Marauder or so coming across, everything rallying over to that right side for the moment. Another Marine will go over there as well. The Zerglings will work their way up the right as Lambo heads up toward the top. Roach, Ravager, Queen, couple of drones continue to come about. The Zergling's going to head back into the center here. So it's going to have that Queen, Roach, Ravager coming through. The Medivacs and Marines all joining up together. The Command Center and the Reactor coming across as well. Medivacs moving toward that bottom left. The Lings to the upper right just going to get up there. There's a couple of depots that are going to start to take some nibbles. So they're going to get nibbled out. A few SCVs are going to pull over. Lang Roach continuing to produce this bio-medevac force heading to the bottom left-hand side. We've got a couple creep tumors that are still spreading forward as well. This bio just going to step into the creep spread. We'll scan, knock down a couple of these creep tumors straight away. Let's see, another creep tumor being cleaned out already. That's Marines and combat shields coming through. The Lings trying to get across to this other side, trying to hit that combat shield, but not quite able to just yet. It's kind of strange, isn't it? Because, like, we're still kind of held back, and, like, Lambo's surviving, but you can just see the economy. Again, long-term, like, Lambo's setup is not great. Like, Lambo is looking to make plays here and now still very much so. 22 drones to 53 SCVs. Like I say, you kind of want to fight in this position as Bjorn because you want to protect your barracks. It's fine. Like, is this really that much worse than if you're kind of, yes, okay, take the Zerg longer to come across the map, but Bjorn just has enough. Again, the catch where he caught so many of those Ravagers, I think, really was the nail in the coffin for Lambo. I think that was the point of this game becoming very unmanageable for him. Before then, I actually felt like there was a lot of opportunity still for him, but I never really got that really kind of going again. GG's. That's going to be gain number 2 to Bjorn, and he moves on to play, might be Max Packs in that next round, actually. Unfortunately, Max Packs and Percival went in game like a minute ago or so. As Arrock Fire beats Horst, move into the round of 8 as well. Tough draw for him. He probably plays Clem in the next round unless GG Machine pulls off a miracle. If you just bought the tech lab, you could have denied combat. Yeah, I don't think denying combat should. I don't think denying combat stuff. Honestly, I think he needs to win against the army. I think you need to win against the army because if you win against the army, you win against the barracks positioning, and then it becomes really bad for Bjorn. And that's what we've seen so many times. I think Bjorn was very smart to build the second bunker at the front to really bunker up the front and to make it expensive to move out. Because, like I say, all you got to do as Bjorn is not lose your army one time. And then it's always going to be tough for the Zerg to actually get to your barracks and to deny them and everything, so yeah. Classic playing Rogue, Solo playing Nicoract, Ryong playing herO. Who else is casting? What games are they on? Alright, You apologize, you signed up, you slept in. It's okay. If you don't check in within the hour before, you get automatically removed. So it's all good. Maybe we can get Max Max Percival game 2. Maybe. Classics up a game against Rogue on Inu's stream. And on Rex's stream if you guys want to see Classic Rogue. Yeah, the time of the event was wrong on TL again, guys. People keep submitting it wrong to the TL calendar by a little bit. I think I moved it like by an hour one time, and now everyone keeps submitting it like the 1 hour later, and I'm like, no. It's really hard to notice this as well. So maybe I should submit my own events. I just got out of the habit of doing it. Oh, do. Chair's awesome. Thank you. That's cool. I like it a lot. It's very cool. Yeah, so at Showtime Maru or Solar. Solar is playing. He's currently playing Nicorrect. No Maru, no Showtime in the bracket. Yeah, Solar would be kind of a cool round of 8 matchup. It kind of just depends what we get into, though. Depends how long everything takes, because my main goal right now is to sit here as little as possible and actually just get into games and casts, so that's kind of the current goal. This is my favorite Pokemon. Probably Eevee, to be very boring. But, I do have a lot of Eevee stuff. I like a lot of Pokemon. I know Eevee's like a very boring favorite, but alas. Like, it's hard to pick a favorite, though, you know? It is hard to pick a favorite, to be fair. I have a bunch of Eevee stuff, so maybe it is Eevee. I like Umbreon a lot too, though. I think Umbreon's also very cool. Shameless 2-0 Yakov into the round of 8, so Shameless, Arcfire, and Beyond so far are quarterfinalists today. WARDITV Mondays 89. This is one of the first Mondays in the summer season, by the way. We had the first Monday last week as the first part of the summer season of the WARDITV 2026 points. Round of 8 today will get you a point, and those points add up into seeding and qualification towards the Summer Championship, as well as other events over the year. So, you know, just some players starting to earn some points, making it to the round of 8 today. Cool to see that. Doesn't take a lot of points to qualify in a lot of the time, so... Did I ever do the favorite Pokemon spreadsheet thing? No, I did not. Ultimate favorite Pokemon picker on Google. Oh my god. There's there's so much there's so much to it. Oh my god. It's a little bit wild. Fun kill time content. I'm not allowed to do fun kill time content because if I do anything that's not StarCraft related between the games, it's another sign of how much I hate the game. So, sadly, you'll have me here talking about possibilities in the bracket. Solo came out again. Did he go back in? Oh my god. Solo came out of game. He was out of game for like so long that I just figured he just hadn't updated his result on the bracket, but apparently he went back into another game with Nikarak. Nikarak, who took Chin to 5 games over the weekend as well. So, yeah. Actually, wouldn't mind seeing that. Percival just came out of game, so we might get a Percival Max Packs game 2, 3, or winner versus beyond. Possibility. I see Percival going in game, so I'm going to presume that's a game 2. Let's try and hop into this and see what we get. Max Packs leading 1-0 over Percival. Alright. So Max Packs leads 1-0. Jump into game 2 here. Kick this off in a couple of moments. Is this on the PTR? No. In the top left, our blue Terran player is going to be down a game as we get into game number 2 of this series, when we'll move on to play beyond. We have ourselves Percival looking to try and tie things up in the matchup against Max Packs, one of the best to do it, especially in the Monday Cups. He is in the bottom right-hand side. A red Protoss. Is Max Packs playing the patch? I have no idea. I haven't seen anything of him on the patch. Max SCV coming through, Cybercore Probe coming about. Just going to be having ourselves the first few moments looking pretty regular. Nexus will drop down onto the natural. And just get that ready to go. Alright, Reaper in the factory coming around again, probing the deb coming up, Wolfgate is coming over. And got settled here for a few more moments. CC drops down. Reaper's out. An expansion coming up from Max Packs as well. And just see how Twilight Council is going to be building on the side of Max Packs. So everything, again, looking pretty standard for now. Again, Battery, Twilight, the Nexus and Probes all coming up. Stalking the Wolfgate coming through. A couple of Reapers going to hit that Adept. Put some damage out. Adept going to turn back the other way. Deb's going to step through. He's going to get some damage onto an SEV. He's going to pick off the natural building worker. The Widowmine gets burrowed. Now the Reavers and the Hellion come back the other way. You can actually see the Widowmine is going to try and chase the Adepts down a little. That's going to be awkward. Now down 2 Reapers already. Hellion at least gets one of these Adepts. The SCV is too far forward with the Widowmine, not close enough. Oh, I think he thought he could finish the CC and get the SCV inside, but it doesn't quite work. Now we lose the Hellion too. This Adept gets a little bit more value as it actually gets up into the main base as well. Depot not lowered. And so that Adept gets in and is going to be able to find itself another couple of SCVs being killed. Alright, that Adept goes down. Now the Medevac gets ready to move out. A couple of Widowmines in production already. Everyone coming through. The couple of Marines coming about. The SCVs, the bunker, and the tech lab all coming up and online as well. Still got that Blink building through. Robotics facility coming up also. Back is natural 1 mine, ready for another mine. So retargets onto a Stalker, that's nice for a grab that was maybe not expected. Good unburrow, reburrow. And we can force another mineral line to lose some mining time at least. So good stuff from Percival, good mine drop here. And the Stalkers have to be careful still because we are still without Blink. Ooh, gonna hit the Medevac, but without Blink. I think this Medevac is away. Oh, he went right instead of down maybe. He is away, so that Widowmine stays alive. This is really a good Widowmine drop. Both mineral lines lost mining time. We killed a Stalker, we killed a Probe. Yeah, it was just extended, right? The longer you keep that there and keep that busy, the more you have to respond to it basically as max packs, the worse it's going to become for you. And that's very much so what we ended up seeing there through that one as the Siege Tank and a couple of Marines still coming about. Just going to be seeing the barracks still coming up as well. Back to building on the starport. Stalkers in the prism up the left side. Trying to blink in here. We get an SCV. 2 probes went down on the other side of the map, so still pretty content overall. Percival's well defended. MaxPax is not going to be able to break in here for too much. Yeah, Marines tank, Engineering Bay coming through. We got a couple of SCVs are building up. That barracks is still coming into play. Charge is coming online on the Twilight Council as well. Marines is going to force that prison back away up through the top side. This is a Raven on the bottom, looking to come around as well. Again, that charge is coming up. The Temple Archive is building into place. Extricates and the Temple Archives coming down again, so we can get that running. Raven just needs to be careful. It's very exposed. Can go down if we had a blink. Apparently we do not. So that Raven is out of here for now. Dog's gonna hang around. The prism goes back the other way. Let's reset for a few more moments. Just gonna work their way through the rocks. Marines and Marauder doing their work here. Putting some work in for now. I'm not going to be seeing the Stimpack Combat Shield +1 still building. Depots are going to lower again. Biotank and a few more tanks joining up together too. Storm will be ready for MaxPax in time to help him with this defense that's coming in shortly. And the Stalker's taking another blink away. A bit of bio coming across there. The tank's going to be in. Just going to see that Storm about to finish on the other side. The Zealots are going to show up. We go after a few of these SCVs. The Prism loads and we pull back over to the sides. And now the Stalkers retreating away for the next few moments. Zealots, Stalkers and the High Templars coming through. High Templars looking to get forward. Big Storm onto the bio. See the bio will get straight onto the Wolf Gates. Just gonna knock that down in a couple of seconds. Cybercore will go down as well. The Protoss army is going to go across the map, so we're not going to dive onto this position. We'd rather counterattack and see what else we can do over there. I think Percival should be fine at home. Yeah, it's a fair amount of Zealots, and not that much left at home actually, so maybe it's a little bit problematic. The bio can stand strong. Good Widowmine shot into the Zealot Storm, onto some SCVs, onto some Marines and Mines. Couple High Templars still pulling back. The Storm is about to be done in a second or two. The Archon still firing in. 12 SCVs going down, 15 SCVs going down and counting. Maxvex did a lot in this attack. Is Percival in the middle of the map. Medivacs left behind. Some bio going to show up at least. He has to do some serious work to make it for 26 workers killed, though. I mean, Maxvex is going to start losing some probes, but hard to imagine it's going to be that much at the end of the day. Medivacs lift up and peel away, so that's only going to be 8 workers killed in comparison to, like I say, the 26 that Percival just lost. What a choice from Maxvex to go across the map and counterattack with that group of units rather than trying to just focus on cleaning up. Really made the difference in the end, and now we have Percival going to be struggling. He's down 20 army supply, he's down in workers. His position in this game is definitely suffering at this stage. A little bit of bio here gets the Immortal. Just going to see the Archon. Going to get blasted as well. Just going to see that Court. A couple more of these Zealots going down into the Storm. Staying in place. Just going to be seeing the EMP comes down onto the High Templar as well. One more Storm coming into position. One more Zealots up on the high ground. And as long as Maxvex is counterattacking and doing damage, it feels pretty good for him. It was nice for Percival what he just did across the map, but again, another negative 14 worker run by. He just stays in such a rough spot overall. Like, if it was just him doing the damage he's doing, this game would be pretty fine for him, if not great. It's just it goes so much deeper than that, and that really is the issue here. The Zealots try and get 4, they're not doing much. The Orbital up in the sky still. You Zealots still warping in. Fire will show up, just go after those Zealots. I'm just going to be seeing the Bioforce still trying to get through. Units on the natural, going to come in for that Orbital as well. Just going to see the SCVs are going to pull, but yeah, actually just going to right-click down the freaking Nexus, command center. Not quite initially, forced off with the Storms. Percival does counterattack for the 3rd base, by the way, so he has a reason to not be just instantly leaving this game. Although, I think standing in the Storm on this other side trying to chase into Colossus is not exactly going to do him any favors. Maxvex 2-0 in this best of 3. Alright, well, the round of 8's pretty much set. Arify still waiting for Clem or GG Machine. Shameless will play herO. Classic will play Solar. Solar actually lost the map to Nikarak. Nikarak stepping up in TVZ lately. That's awesome. I think we'll just follow into Maxvex versus Beyond then, guys. Should just be ready to go in the next few moments. No PTR, guys. Yeah, this is live server today. Yeah, we'll go beyond Maxvex for our round of 8 match, and then be semi-final time. Speedy El Monday Cup so far. but plenty of time for it to get a little bit crazier. My voice is just not right today, I swear. How big was the tournament I played in? Well, this weekend? It wasn't super big, it was only like 8 people. For some reason, like, it was really weird. They didn't have it on like the official Riftbound event site until like the morning of. I just saw it on their Facebook, so I think a few people missed out. But because it was only because only people who really wanted to go went, it was like all good people. So I was pretty happy with second. Yeah, not this weekend, but next weekend I'm going to Utrecht for a big tournament. It's like 2,000 people. It's gonna be good. I'll probably get murdered there though. But it'll still be fun, I think. No, this game's really fun. Like I say, it genuinely reminds me of playing StarCraft to some extent, despite it being a card game. You guys know when a lot of StarCraft players became poker players and stuff, and there's people say that StarCraft gives you a lot of the foundations of poker. I kind of feel like this a little bit with Riftbound. It's very good. I kind of want to cast it, but just for fun. But I think that's the kind of thing that's hard to get into. StarCraft's great for getting used to losing. StarCraft's great for getting you used to learning how to improve at things, I think. Bought your first Riftbound box this week. Excited to try it out. Used to play Magic super competitively and have zero interest right now. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying it's it has like a lot of Magic. So I never played Magic. I've played 16 hours of Magic, and I know this because I was sponsored to do 2 8-hour streams on stream. But yeah, a lot of people are saying it's got like a lot of like elements of Magic to it. I think the worst part of Riftbound is some of the rulings are confusing and some of the card wording is kind of bad, but if you like being competitive and you like getting into it, these are things you can get by very easily, I think. So yeah, no, this game is very, very fun. I mean, I don't have a lot of experience in TCGs. I only played Pokemon, but Pokemon compared to this is like playing Connect 4 versus playing chess, you know? Like, it's yeah. It's really crazy. I had no idea how much I was missing out playing Pokemon all this time. Yeah, that's super fun. Getting better at SCT made you better at other games, mostly fighting games like Smash. Yeah, SCT really. I mean, it's just such a complex game. You need to learn how to you need to learn so much to get better at StarCraft. You need to break down the game. You need to, you know, be able to dissect what happened in the game and analyze. There's so many different parts of it, right? Like, you know, there's game mechanics, and then there's micro, and there's macro, and then there's figuring out the workings of the tempo, and assessing situations, and assessing, you know, values of trades and stuff. really enjoy Pokemon as a casual experience, but it's pretty solitaire. Well, yeah, this is what I've realized, is that it's just... You're basically playing against your deck. You know, it's basically you searching through your deck again and again and again. And yeah, I've played Pokemon now for like 4 years or something. It was great, but... Especially right now, the Pokemon meta went to shit. But, yeah, it was crazy playing a game where there's so much more interaction. And, like, you actually have a reason to pay attention on your opponent's turn because, like, you get to interact and do things, and you actually get to threaten and bluff things. Like, it's great. Yeah, I like it a lot. I think the other thing with Pokemon is, I know card games are card games, right? But I feel like in Pokemon, so often the game gets decided on like he had everything in the opening hand, and I missed my one thing to get like decently set up. I feel like Pokemon is so often like it's just like, oh, I bricked, cool, good game. Like I feel like there's so few lines to kind of get yourself out of trouble if they open well and you open bad. Especially because, like, certain things in Pokemon, like, because they only really limit, like, supporter cards in Pokemon, right? So, like, items and stuff you can use a lot of. So if you have very good draw engines and ways to see a lot of cards, you can get so much value out of just seeing every single card, because the only thing you can't use multiple of in a turn is supporters, right? So there's just so many ways to see so many cards and just to kind of do so much that if you get set up to see it all, you're just away with it, you know? So, yeah. This isn't the new patch. Nope. No new patch content on our stream. I'm not going to bother with PTR stuff. If you want to see new patch stuff, I think Loco is streaming some patch games right now. Hearthstone streamed some yesterday as well. Some games between like Clem, Bjorn, and people. So there's a bunch of games out there if you want to go check them out. So you can see the Stalkers. They're going to hop to the high ground again for a couple of SCVs. The tank. Some trouble as MaxPack's put on the pressure here. 4 SCVs already going down. That's not a bad starting point at all for MaxPack. Gets in, gets some good damage done. Peels back out of there. And again, the Marines, the tank, the engineering bay, and the barracks continue to produce through as well. Load back up. Just going to get over to that left-hand side. And again, we have the charge, the gates, and the Templar Archives. Building. The Stalker's going to get here, and that medevac gets turned the other way. One tank already popping through. So it's going to blink across. Just going to see a couple more of these SCVs going down. We save it again. The value of that prism is undeniable. Being able to lift back up and pull back away again. So the Stalker's trying to get onto the siege tank. That tank is going to get knocked down, so the tank is going to fall already. So I'm going to jump up on the right side as well. I'm just going to try and get in there. The tank is still in a good position. Still got Stimpack Combat Shield and the +1. Continue to build through. Got the Storm coming up and online as well. Observer building. Gateway and the Forge coming up. Ghost Academy going to go down in the background. Just going to put that straight into place. And Prism. Just going to back away. All said and done. We've killed ourselves 7 SCVs. We got rid of the Raven, sorry. Siege tank as well. And MaxPack is going to have Storm finished up behind this. This is just an excellent early game from MaxPack. Just very, very good. Guys, the 8 worker start is a PTR. It's not live. So we are on the live service for WARDITV Mondays. That's why you're seeing 12 worker starts instead of 8. If you're interested in the 8 worker starts, if you imagine the clock says 9 minutes right now, it'd look a bit like this. Well, maybe not. We have a Protoss in the game. I do actually have Protoss changed a lot. As you see, Zelt Stalker trying to shove up a little. I'm just going to see the bio going to get there. Observer gets taken down. And we are going to see if I can Marauders. A couple of Widow Mines coming through. The +1 attack upgrade coming up as well. It wouldn't, because MaxPack would have died 5 minutes ago. Yeah, Baros players have it pretty rough at the moment. It's kind of crazy how many times Pro players have had to completely relearn how to play the game. From the mothership core to just having like Nexus overcharge, and then like, you know, they introduced batteries, and then they had battery overcharge, and then there's like, obviously it doesn't completely change how you learn things every time, but it's like there's so many different core ways, because like these are all things that really change how you defend and how you play early. There's been so many iterations of Protoss early game. Meanwhile, Terran's Reaper expand into like 1-1-1 or triple barracks. It's been the same for like 12 years. Yeah. Poor Protoss players. But you have ourselves the army from Max Packs coming up the left-hand side. A few High Templar are going to be there, plus 2 attack, plus 1 armor. A couple Colossus still building through. We got the Nexus building up on the side of Max Packs. Just going to get that on the way. The Pylon coming over as well. Prism pulls across. All High Templars morph into the Archon. Just going to see the T2 upgrades are coming up from Beyond. Max Packs, I mean, we saw him have a very good early game. I think Beyond has recognized that, and hence he's not really trying to do much. He's just sitting here and saying, okay, let me max out. Maybe I can start to do well in terms of some of the later game fights and so on. Maybe I can take some later battles and turn things in my favor here and make some value, you know, get some value on the way and get some value happening in my favor. A few more High Templar morph in, just going to morph into Archons. Prism moving up again, plus 2 attack is going to finish soon. Wouldn't mind. Going to go after a couple of these Zealots, as we are just going to see this Bio pulling back into the natural. Bunker's going to hold. Nice Storm on the left side. It's going to be seeing the Colossus continue to laser beam. Archon's trying to step through this. A couple more EMPs coming down onto it as well. One more Colossus already dropping, being taken out. The additional Zealot's going to warp in around the back and just going to be seeing the Storm coming down on top of the rest of the Bio army. The Vikings pulling over to the left-hand side. Just going to have ourselves this Bioforce still holding pretty tight. Honestly, good fight from Bjorn, considering how Clem W was. I thought he was going to be in a lot more trouble a lot more quickly. Are we out of Andiak? Can these Vikings just get the Colossus now? One more Storm. I think we still got another Storm available in the High Templar, but we only have 2 Colossus left. Going to split the Vikings and just go for it. We need to clean up these Colossus. Now we had another Storm goes onto the Bio. That's going to soften it up too much. In the end, I don't think it was actually close. It was much longer of a fight than I thought it was going to be, though. I really thought this was going to be a lot more one-sided than it was. I thought Max Packs was just gonna like run up, and Bjorn was like, "Okay, I died this game," but Bjorn really like this fight really got drawn out a bit. Crazy business. All right, I'm gonna take a moment to guys jump into the next game. I go check the Korean stream, guys, and see what's going on over there. They were in-game with Classic Solar. No, they're in-game with Classic Rogue. Let's see if they followed into Classic Solar, what they decided to do. Classic leads 1-0 over Solar right now. So Solar down a game currently in this BO3. Love the caster in the game art, is awesome. Hell yeah, thank you. Alright, game number 2. As we have in the bottom right side, down a map, looking to bring it back. It is going to be our Red Terran player, Bjorn. Takes on Max Vex in the top left, Blue Protoss. Similar to Gateway coming about, got that Pro going through. Racks in the Refinery coming into place as well. That's now you've seen the Gateway coming down into that corner. And the barracks setting up at home for a minute of setup. And the first probe arrives across the map. Well, you gotta look to see just what is happening. Probe pulls back through. A couple of SCVs are gonna tag along. Get set up for a few moments. Next, going to build on the natural. Pro pulling back across again. CC in the factory coming through. And again, just going to have that reactor coming up on the racks in a few moments. And let's see what Beyond does here. Obviously, no Reaper, just the Marine. So he's going to be nice and expedited on the factory and the reactor and so on. So plenty of Marines and so. But at the cost of not being able to scout as much in the early game. So not being able to see as much of what's going on in the first few minutes. Couple Marines is going to be there. And Dep gets turned around. Dep trying to shade forward. No guys, no need patch. Need patches on PTR. There's other people doing PTR stuff. We will not be doing any PTR stuff this week. If you want some PTR games, like I say, recommend Harstom's games yesterday. He had a bunch of pros in the Shopify Rebellion Sundays. You had like 4 best of 5, so I'd recommend Harstom's VOD. Some good examples of the new patch. And Dep trying to shade to the high ground. It's not going to get there. Wouldn't mind. Couple Widow Mines pulling back over. Gateway in the row facility coming up. Blink. About halfway done as well. Couple tech labs will come into play. Starport and the factory both building into this. Mine Burrows is going to see the second one of mine high ground's kind of cute. We might not realize it's here. We do. Sending the probe high ground's very smart from Max Packs. I get, okay. I say you might not think it's there, but obviously you should presume it's there when you consider the fact that the medevac didn't show up in this mineral line already. You could presume it's already set there, but I think you've always got to presume it's on the invisible high ground for, you know, until you prove that it isn't, basically. He's going to gather. Tank going to siege. A couple of stores going to get pushed back the other way. Marines and a Viking going to be there. Going to drop second mine on the high ground and flew to the main with medevac. I think you still presume is max packs until you see the Widow mine in the main mineral line. You still presume that's probably here though, right? I think it's not terrible for Bjorn because his medevac was low, so I don't hate him just not flying into the lane, because if there's one Stalker then you lose the medevac versus getting the medevac out for the sake of a mind game that MaxPax is probably already reading into. I think it's probably... We're talking about a very little decision, trying to get a bit of trickery in, but it doesn't work out. Stalkers. He's going to be getting onto the bunker. A few Marines taking damage. Just going to get a scan. Stalkers now get in there. We pick off an SCV as well in the refinery. And the other Marines look like they're coming back the other way. Stalkers will just step through a couple of the SCVs. The Marines going down. The tank going to fire back. And do have ourselves the charge. Probes, gates, and the Templar Archives will continue up as well. The rest of the Stalkers still gathering around for a few moments. Just got to scan down. Just going to be picking off that observer. Bioun's pulling back. A couple tanks still going to settle. Stalkers settled down, Prism on the right side, ready to dive in. MaxPax still looking for this damage. Bjorn holding off better than he held off in that previous game. His Prism is going to run into trouble. I love the recall on it. Just, you know that Viking has a good chance of killing it off, and you'd rather keep the Prism alive, so instant recall. Keeping the Prism alive, even just to put the High Templars inside with Storm makes a lot of sense, right? So not having to go back into extra money there would help. And the Stalkers still gathered together. I'm just going to see 1-1 combat shield, concussive shells building the bio. And the tank still sending out the front. The depot drops down. A couple of tanks to get their shots off toward the forward Stalkers. Oh, that fire force comes across. Chase those Stalkers away as well. Concussive shells is about to finish. Still got the Liberator, Marine Marauder all coming about. Pluses and the +1, the thermal lens continue to come in. In the middle of the map, a few Stalkers still just hanging around for a little bit. There's some escapes over to the left. Liberator sieges again, the biotank just going to gather. We'll see another base coming down behind it also. Fourth command center going to get set up as MaxPax is already at 81 probes. So his economy kind of getting to be going through the roof. Just going to see the Stalkers, the Zealots, and Colossus, High Templars as well, making their way. We'll see how much MaxPax does in terms of poking up here. It's a very defensive and choky setup from Bjorn. I really feel like as long as Bjorn sits on just the 3 bases, it's going to be very difficult for MaxPax to justify kind of a push out. And even, I mean, the Sense Tower obviously is going to give you a good vision of where the army's coming from. So it's not like you're going to set up to defend the left side and then bam, on the right side attack comes in and you have no idea about it. Bjorn's Sense Tower tracks each and every movement of this army through this Sense Tower area, which obviously is very ideally just left to right around this 3rd base. The way that 10,000 feet works is you do get this 3rd base very comfortable and you can sit on it a little bit, ready to then break to 4 bases when you get the chance of the Terran. And this defensive setup just allows Bjorn to, like I say, get that 4th base ready. His tech coming online. MaxPax's just going to greet this with a whole bunch of additional gateways. You get the air weapons coming up, +2 attack, +1 armor coming up as well. 3-4 Stargates on the way from MaxPack, so he's very ready to just say, if you're going to build into a lot of Liberators, I'm going to be able to get Tempest out in return. Or if he plays super defensive, he might even potentially go into Carriers. It's nowhere near as common, but he's seen a couple of people do it lately. It is in the world of possibilities of what can take place. Step forward for a moment. Storm coming down, the Observer gets scanned for, and we do have results into the main. Not going to be doing too much though. Bio already there, so beyond defense is looking great once more. Couple Vikings joining up with the rest on the top side. We see some of these shield batteries and cannons coming through and cleaned out as well. On the left side, going to try and make a push along. Bio Ghost, Medevac Viking coming across, ready to take a turn into this. A couple of Ghosts, drop some EMPs down already. Some damage being dealt. The Vikings still getting to the front for a few moments. Command Center going to float across into that fourth base. One more Storm hits the Ghost there as it tries to step forward for another couple of units. The Vikings just going to be able to push that Colossus away. And again, the Storm going to sit tight for a few more moments right now. Vikings going to try and come forward. There's going to be some Medevac's going to be there. And then we have the Vikings, the Ghost, and the +3 armor upgrade still coming about. So going to see +2 attack. Tempest and the cannons all coming through. Those few Vikings are still gathering. More tank shots. Bio army going to come over. Storm coming down as well. Bjorn has slowly forced himself onto this fourth base. He's slowly been breaking out over that left-hand side. The stack defense in the middle of the map that MaxPack has set up. Yeah, I mean, interesting. Makes Bjorn pay a little bit to get over there. Obviously, MaxPack knows the strength of this position, I guess, with the Tempest being able to hit this location and deny this third so heavily. And that's what we're really trying to push onto a little bit with this, I guess, the stack defense to make sure we can kind of stick here instead of getting pushed away from it super easily. Of course, MaxPack still just expanding consistently behind this as the Vikings come through again. Another couple of these Tempests beginning to go down. The Colossus pulling back for a few seconds. The Vikings still there to keep things away at the moment. Tempest shots coming through. The missile turret gets taken out as well. This army still trying to step forward. Another Storm coming into place. The Vikings going to be right there with this. +1 ship weapons, +3 attack coming through. The Ghost on the right side goes down. A couple of Storms are going to be good, striking very comfortably. Just a couple of Tempest shots. I'm just going to knock down another refinery. Vikings showing up. The Ghost and everything else coming in there. The +3 attack upgrade about to be done. The +2 armor upgrade getting started as well. Vikings chasing forward. EMP also coming down. A couple Storms pushing back the other direction still. Nice EMP hits the Stalkers and we continue to step through. Vikings are going to chase the Colossus and the Tempest taking some damage. The Spyro Army still trying to get there. One more Storm coming into place. Got a couple of Archons up this ramp that we can start to chase onto as well. And get rid of a couple of these as Bjorn continues to just push this position. Trying to get to a 5th base, get to that, and that's going to be really nice. Some additional economy available to Bjorn. Would not go amiss for him right now. Stuck's still playing kind of one way than the other. He's losing some Stalkers at least to the siege tanks that have been covering well despite the Tempest getting on top of one of them. They got some shots off, like I say, some Stalkers do fall. As the tank count decreases, I wonder how much it's going to give MaxPack an easier time pushing into it. It feels like so much of this is about the Tempest and whether the Vikings can deal with them. Big stim from behind the Planetary. A couple Storms coming down as own the Vikings, so MaxPack is very preemptive in dealing with this. On the right-hand side, we just trying to deny the command center that's coming online there, so no 5th base right now for Bjorn. He has other CCs building, so we'll see more attempts at that base in the near future, I'm sure. As a couple of Tempests will keep firing. The Planetary in some trouble. Bio going to stim up. Time War coming down. EMP is available as well. EMPs all over these Archons, still getting some serious damage done. Just going to see this army of Beyond, though, is getting absolutely wrapped up and pushed away. These Bioforce getting shoved out of here. 6 more Vikings still producing on the Terran side. So 6 more Vikings, couple more command centers. Unfortunately losing a couple of ghosts. I think the problem for Beyond is he really does... He just hasn't traded well enough so far. Like, even though MaxPax has been the aggressor into him, he's trading equally. He's not giving up units every time to make progress. So while holding all of these bases, Beyond's just not finding... You know, as MaxPax, Beyond's not finding enough damage to MaxPax's army each and every time to make him pay for the economic advantage that's been going on otherwise. I'm just going to shoot, just going to be having the tank still taking a few more hits as well. Over on that right, that Zeld coming through, the few SUVs together. You see a few of them turning back around into the Zeld for a second or two. The rest of them still getting ready to go. Fighting the Ghost coming down, +2 ship weapons coming up. And a missile turret, the Sun's Tower coming around, the Bio Viking Force. Back to the center for a few moments. Gonna get those Vikings to fire. For a little extra, see what we can do. The DT's gonna run into this right side planetary. He's gonna see the scan coming down. The Liberator starting to chip through a bunch of those Dark Templar. But once again, the base is going down already, so the DTs just show up and do mega damage before anything else happens. Vikings still chasing through. Colossus going down. The Temp is going to be in some trouble. There's Bio Army just standing and fighting against the Gateway Force. It's actually going to be very successful. That's a massively won fight for Beyond. That's been what he's looking for a long time, but is it just going to come too late? The DTs are going to be something that was try and drag him back and keep him back in this game. Beyond's army supply right now tripling MaxPax's. If he can make a shove, there is some hope. The problem is, MaxPax has the money to rebuild. I kind of love the carriers. Something which I think 5 at a time could actually make this a very difficult army to ever get rid of from Beyond, who, at the very least here, though, will get some bases, and he's going to be establishing his own 5th base now that he's won this big fight. There's not as much pressure coming in from MaxPax, so we can set up across the 5-base setup a lot more comfortably than before. Finds a few probes transferring. He's going to scan ahead. Because we're building carriers, the rebuild of MaxPax was fairly slow. He obviously now has the supply maxed out. Obviously, the carriers are still yet to pop, but I actually thought that was a slower maxer than I thought. But obviously, Beyond just hitting some bases on the edges. This base still available because MaxPax is not retaking map control yet. Nexus goes down just initially, and we will have +3 ship weapons, +2 vehicle plating coming through as well. So Beyond's still looking to make his Vikings in the sky as strong as possible in this situation. Why doesn't Beyond just double expand? It's not really as simple as that for a turn, because there's no point taking this base and this base just to give the Protoss an easy target with Dark Templar. You need to be able to defend your bases at a Terran. Otherwise, you're just giving the Protoss easy locations to hit with that harassment force. So double expanding, like right now, yeah, great. But 1 minute from now, when MaxPax retakes map control, because that's how this matchup works, the double expansion does not look as good then, right? Like, you've really got to make sure that you're going to get something out of this double expand. Otherwise, you're just floating away resources in the matchup where resources are a struggle for you until super late in the game when you do finally hold all those bases, right? Like, you're being held to way less bases, so you can't just wildly expand. You don't have a realistic way to defend against it. You need so much more supply to defend than you do to attack in TVP when it comes to, like, harassment strikes. So I can't really do that, as we are going to see some EMPs coming down. This base just full of the Storms just zoning this ramp. It's just kept 80% of Beyond supply out of this fight, and now the bottom right army is just going to die before we finally get in here. Another Storm zoning this ramp and this base. I mean, that's the issue of this base, just not being able to come down. There's now a ramp into. We can need to come in from up the top and wrap down onto this, perhaps. as Bjorn. That might have been the better move, but he was not in the position for that, so maybe need to try and prevent his hand being forced initially more than anything else here. Probes pull over, High Templars, Archons, the Stalkers and the rest coming through as well. Mothership will be sitting overhead as MaxPax trying 2 minutes on this game. Bjorn able to draw it out for a while, but has just never, to me, never been able to take good enough fights throughout this to set up in a good position. Just needed some better fights somewhere along the way. Now, obviously still has a Mega Army. He's going to try and retake this base again. He is now 7,000 resources lost, better off. Let's see what the next fight potentially brings us as the Liberator Siege once more. It's a little EMP on the High Temple on the top side. Stalkers back down the right. A couple turrets in some trouble. Liberator is going to begin to siege. Yeah, Storm coming through again. Rest of this army going away 1 more second or two. All them libs sieging up. Just going to recall to the bottom left side to completely reassess the direction of attack. One of the really good parts about having the additional nexus all around the map is recall can actually be used offensively without being a mothership recall. So just swings into the bottom left, and now Bjorn out of position, has to confine into this. Time warped on his way in. Storming a few of the SCVs. Do we want to push heavily for the planter, or are we just happy with what we already did? Seems as though MaxPax is happy with what he already did. Stepping back, giving this a little bit of space. I'm scared about how much anti-air is in Bjorn's army. I think it's amazing for the first fight here. If MaxPax remaxes on a ground force, there's a very good chance that Bjorn gets overwhelmed just because he's so air heavy. It's a big storm or two right there, as you see some probes. I think are trying to get to the bottom left. I don't think they're meant to just be getting given up, but they will die. Coming through the Liberator pathway to try and get to their target. Not ideal. Vikings get after a couple of those carriers. Storm coming down again. I think mining that bottom left base is a priority here. It's a base where Bjorn eventually would have liked to get to. The other base I could see Bjorn realistically taking, obviously with his attention on the right side right now, would be that kind of 3 o'clock, but that's been mined for a long time, pretty heavily mined. Again, MaxPax just swings on the left, and Bjorn doesn't know about it, so he loses the base here already. Bjorn chasing. Bjorn really chasing. Actually might be able to really get some value on the tail end of this, so MaxPax going to have to start replenishing a lot of what was here. EMP's available. Vikings still chasing through. Another couple of Archons getting picked away at. Plus 2 air armor, because why not? We are going to at least deny the bottom left base. That is a location I think Bjorn eventually in this game needs to get to. Like, we still got to get there at some point as MaxPax now swings back around to the right side. The Liberator is going to re-siege themselves. You see, it's such a powerful army from Bjorn if it gets into the right fight. Still up about 20 army supply. MaxPax has a ton of money to rebuild with, though. Still, 24 Vikings may be a little overkill. Be interesting to see how quickly we drop them to the ground. It's weird because you kind of want to keep the Vikings to stop them rebuilding into other units that, you know, Vikings are good against, like rebuilding Tempest, rebuilding Colossi. But then if they never get rebuilt, it becomes kind of awkward too, so... It's a tough one. Let's go back around the right again. Problem is that Bjorn also just has no bank at all, so any sort of a rebuild from Bjorn is just so non-existent, essentially. Tempest hits a Viking. Poised on this left-hand side to see what the next move is. The couple observers coming up. The next coming by. The +2 shields coming in as well. Battery in the cannon still coming up. Liberator's getting shot at by those Tempests. A couple of them going down already. MaxFax has really expanded. Yeah, good spot chat. That's I really think an issue. I really think Bjorn needs that position eventually, but that is so difficult to find as the bio gets across. Couple cannons, battery. In some trouble. The rest of this force coming through. The Tempest getting some damage done. Tanks going down. Liberators will come as sieging. As you can see, Bjorn chasing straight into this. The Zealots, the Storks, the Colossus all being pushed away. +3 armor coming up as well. Looks like it just swings back to the right-hand side. We got underneath a couple of those Liberators going down, a couple of Vikings getting shot at. Stalkers turned away once more. I'm just going to see 5 more of them being picked off. And get additional Liberators. In production as a Planetary Fortress. Just going to shoot, get after those Stalkers a little bit. On the left side, we have a Bioforce pushing in. A few cloaked up ghosts. Is that enough to get through these Zealots? Apparently it is right now, so Bjorn actually going to make some progress on the map, getting a bit of a win on the left side. Another round of Zealots warping in though. How problematic is that going to be as my Temple has Storm Energy. We're going to lift up. Max Packs will force Bjorn to reset on the left at least a little bit, just for the moment. Vikings and company will gather up. Army in the center still gathering around. Yeah, about to hit the 30-minute marker here of this game too. Once a few Zealots just come diving in, they'll get a bit of static defense. On the right side is the main army. And again, Bjorn's been playing this kind of ping-ponging effect for quite some time now. Hits the EMP on a clump of the High Templar to the upper right though, so he's at least going to be able to knock some storms away. As we step through, nice EMPs. One storm doesn't do too much, and the Vikings are going to do their work. A lot of the air units are just low. 2 Colossus in the red, a Tempest in the red. Just nothing actually really. We already killed some Tempests, I guess, but a lot of stuff getting low but not dying is unfortunate. Release each of these Liberators, and again the Vikings looking to get through. The couple Archons stacking up. We eat a few EMPs already. One more storm coming down. And Tempest coming up, just going to see that +3 air armor coming through as well. So MaxFax is still getting more powerful. Bjorn, everyone got his own +3 ship weapons or vehicle plating, I guess. Don't know if that really would have changed things a lot. It'd be nice though, right? We've seen enough fights where maybe it could have made some difference. This is kind of interesting. Bjorn really, I do think, needs the bottom left base. And does MaxFax's army really just struggle so much here right now as... You know what these Stalkers are wandering forward for. I thought we were going to, you know, kill a Liberator and blink, but then they just kind of weren't moving in that kind of way properly. Yeah, can Bjorn get another base? Can he get himself set to mine? Just a little further. A couple Stalkers getting turned around as well. Fire's still going to trade. That Nexus taking some more damage. 4 more carriers coming up. A couple Stalkers in the mothership coming through. The Ghosts are producing. On the left side, the Bio Ghost Force there, going to be chasing away. Another High Templar getting a storm off. Stalkers going to get multiple medevacs here. Now that Bio is going to be able to get through for some of these Stalkers as well, so a little bit more damage being done again. Yeah, denying the right side base is nice. This left side base is much more heavily mined out. There are more resources left on the right side. Like I say, Bjorn wants to take this bottom left, but that's not something we keep trying to do something about as MaxFax keeps trying to mine it himself. Now that MaxFax only has 44 workers, his own army supply is going to be larger at any single point than it's been in the past. That does mean that in theory these trades for Bjorn should become a little bit more difficult to win out. Beforehand, Bjorn was always fighting this with an army supply lead. That's just not being the case now for a little bit as these probes come back to the bottom left. Hello, guys. I don't think we're meant to be here, unfortunately. See a bunch of those going down and getting turned away. Another scan coming over. Tempests, Archons, Carriers. Pushing down to the bottom here, that Archon. Gonna get cleaned out. Another EMP coming down. The Archon taking a few more shots. Tempest and the Carriers pulling back to the left side. That mothership coming over. Carriers and a couple of interceptors still coming through. Viking. Thinking about what we want to do here. So we're seeing the Liberator setting up an EMP coming down to some of the Stalkers as well. This Viking force ready to just jump through. Another ship. Going to get deleted pretty quickly. I mean, at least gets the time warp off, which slows the advance down the ramp. Ooh. Storms from the left side is beyond. He's going to find this left base as well. So Maxvax is really now running on fumes when it comes to income. I mean, obviously he's got a massive bank account, 6k, 3k, but that's pretty much all he's going to have here is Bjorn. Has slowly and steadily. To me, I didn't think he was doing this well enough, but look at the resources lost now. This has grown and grown and grown in difference now. A 20k difference. Remember, initially it was pretty even at 12k each, and then it was like, okay, 6k, 7k, 20k difference makes up for a lot of the mining that Bjorn has just not had in this game so far. One thing that's going to get interesting now is that Maxpax is going to say, cool, no workers, my army's going to be bigger than it's ever been. 184 army supply from Maxpax. This bottom left base is huge from Bjorn. An actual entire base to mine from is massive. Maxpax is going to try again for the right. I think this is going to be important for Bjorn to deny. Not with his whole army, just with even just a drop or so, just some pressure there. Try not to let Maxpax really utilize that base, because any resources you can stop from him are going to be huge for you closing this final bit of a gap overall. He needs to get the gas mining coming as well, as we are going to see army getting ready to engage. We're obviously going to need to find some EMPs. Like I say, it's so terrifying now that this Protoss army is actually at 180 supply. A lot of this PvT matchup, you kind of have the Protoss army that is kind of surprising. Like, it's really good at being on the map, but it's actually terrible if it ends up in the wrong kind of straight up fight. But now, you know, the entire game shifts again and maybe moves back into this Protoss army that actually is a little bit more terrifying in this scenario. Storm to force you back, being pushed away from this right side in general. He has a few SCV. Well, you know, I said he didn't need to send his whole army here to deny this base. A few SCVs. If that's all it takes, that's kind of low-key hilarious, not gonna lie. Yeah, but I mean, this is what I mean. Like, if you actually deny this base, that would be massive. We're gonna recall into the high ground. Bjorn gonna be reset from some of his production. Is he gonna try and fight this? He probably feels like he has to. Another ship cloaking comes down. Time warp as well on the ramp. Can be very powerful. The awkward part for this from Maxpax is there's no getting out of here outside of just recalling, which is obviously very scary. The Libs are trying to siege up further forward, get absolutely obliterated though. And so I think Maxpax might be able to get away. The SCVs are still drilling through that Nexus, don't forget. To deny that 3 o'clock base. And a nice storm hitting the units as they're clumped up. Bjorn down by about 30. Army supply here pulls back. The Interceptor's getting going now. The Vikings probably need to take an aggressive step forward. No splash damage left means that everything can come forward. So here we go. Do the Vikings have enough power in them? 62 to 110 army supply. I think with Bjorn having production up in the sky and the fact that Maxpax is able to reproduce off the bank, it's not going to be enough. And the Nexus lived as well, just to make sure we had no fun at all at the end of this game. Maxpax 2-0 into the semifinals against Classic. That'll come up as our second semi-final. For now, Clem versus herO will begin. Alright, we'll get Clem herO started up here in a few moments. Guys, get ready for more TVP action. Semi-finals time, Clem versus herO in a few moments. We have the Monday 4 coming in as the top 4 today. Clem, herO, Maxpax, and Classic. They are the foremost winning players in WARDITV Monday history. We'll see who puts another notch next to their name after today, as it is going to be Clem herO to start us off in a few moments' time. Now, just getting everyone in the lobby, making sure everybody is here and ready to join us, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, just making sure we've got everyone with us, and we will be able to go into Clem versus herO. Played some games across the weekend, you might have seen. Alright, Clem's readying up, waiting for herO to ready up as well. Ready GLHF. And we can send it. Semi-finals of WARDITV Mondays 89 in the top left-hand corner. The red Terran player to start us off here from Team Liquid is going to be Clem. On the bottom right, it is going to be our blue Protoss player, herO. Out of the TVP, into the TVP. As we go into this matchup, let's see what's going to happen. For the first time today, I can put my feet up and not observe. We did it, guys. 2 hours of Wardy observing and we didn't even have anyone complain. Actually incredible. Let's see the pro coming through. Is this with the new patch? No. Rebel Nibble and SCV to start us off. The ads become more these days, or the same as before. On our channel, we've been running this amount of ads for like, I mean, multiple years at this point. Ad count has not changed in a long time. Stalker, I hit this Reaper a little bit. Twilight counts are coming through. A couple of Reapers in the Helene coming about. Tech Lab drops in. A couple of barracks going to get into place. And the SCV and the Marines building through. The Blink is coming up. We'll get that on the way for the moment. Seeing the Reapers and the Hellions trying to actually get a Stalker in. We are going to be good for the first one at least. Stalker's going back about the bunker. Sorry, the bunker. The robe. I don't know why. I was looking at the robo facility and I was like, the bunker! The robo facility is coming up as well. Let me get that ready to rumble. Any tournaments planned on the new patch? Not for me. Yeah. If you want to watch some patch games, you should check out Hostum's show match series yesterday. And I believe other creators are moving their tournaments over to the PTR. but we're not going to be doing that here on WARDITV. We're going to stick with live games. We have to for the Mondays with our sponsors, and we're in the middle of the Spring Championships, so it doesn't really open the door for us just to randomly play games on a PTR that's been out for 3-4 days. Like to see the Stalkers climb in a bunker. Can you imagine that? Alright guys, we delete the shield battery, but Protoss get bunkers that can blink around the map with the Stalkers. Hashtag boycott PTR. Not boycotting the PTR, I don't have... it doesn't make any sense to run too many of our big tournaments onto it out of nowhere. Like I say, plenty of other people are going to be doing PTR stuff. Bring back the Archon toilet. Oh, the truly good old days, huh? Well, herO's Stalker will die in the face of danger, which is just how much power is in this push from Clem. He's going to bully SCVs as well. Now, the Observer sees this, so herO knows exactly how committed Clem is being. What can we kill here with these Stalkers? Ideally, a couple of tanks would be amazing, right? Because any tanks you get rid of, you're going to remove the siege power of this. herO, I'm not going to say he's lucky to keep a couple of those Stalkers alive, because obviously Blink Stalkers typically do survive on low HP, but I actually do think some of the Stalkers were a little fortunate not to take the one extra shot, and now he has a horrible blink in, as he just ends up blinking between the army and reinforcements, so he gets stuck and loses multiple more Stalkers. The SCVs get here to save this tank? No, well, no, but actually they do still make those Stalkers pay, so herO's lost a lot of units in trying to slow this down. One tank now siege. Bio does have stim and combat shield, remember, so it's powered up. However, we're about to have a second Immortal. That's going to be huge. Can this Immortal again reach the tank? It can for half a second. The Stalkers will finish it off. The other tank is quite far away. Clem is going to bunker at the front and try and stabilize on the front of herO's Natural. Obviously, this cuts off access to his third base. The pylon powering the Robo will go down soon. That's not going to matter. There's another pylon. What is going to matter is the Immortal going down before the Stalkers really help too much. Clem used another stim, though. Every stim's going to hurt. We are going to see this bunker finish in a second. Clem needs as many Stalkers as he can get. Bunker will finish up. Can we jump a couple units in here to make the difference? Clem's army supply is still very good. herO committing with the probes because he feels the need to remove this bunker from the game. Otherwise, he thinks he's going to fall too far behind. Bunker goes down before a lot of workers. We're going to see Clem once again diving the Immortal that's just out and fresh. Just going to dive onto that. A battery saves it for a few seconds. We'll go after a few more Stalkers. Now the Immortal does go down. The Stalkers come back and forth. Just going to try and see this last Marauder running for Stalkers. He's going to get one. He's going to get two. No, he doesn't quite find the second last one. That was enough damage to, I think, just send us to a macro game if we want to as Clem. The only issue is obviously herO does have triple Nexus. So he does have the ability to build up workers more constantly than what Clem can off two bases. Clem only just now going to start his starports. He's not going to have medevacs for a little bit as the bio gets a bit further down to the bottom. And we just decide what we want to try and do here next. It's scary because herO can't just be like, cool, 3 bases, let's probe, and just fully focus on economy. Because the danger of Clem's follow-up is still there, right? Like, Clem still has stimmed bio units, or stimmable bio units. So herO, I think, has to focus on some amount of army, but his economic losses definitely slow him down a lot. I think Clem's going to go round 2. Does he pull another round of SCVs, I guess is my question. Probably does. Because I think we reset this enough to be in a similar position to before, where if you wanted to try and pull some SCVs before to break through, I don't see why you wouldn't try and bring some now to just try and help kind of push that extra little bit. Gone 42 workers, that's more than enough long term. I'm moving out. Hallucination is going to spot this, so the Prism that is going to have the 2 Immortals inside looking to snipe some units down ahead of time. It is going to look to be dangerous, but pretty quickly pushed away. The medevac shows up as well. We did not pull the SCVs from Clem, by the way, so he's not going to have that super danger kind of play that I was talking about. Prism obviously is able to keep these Immortals alive, so let's try and do as much as we can with that. For a little bit, the few Zealots taking some damage already. Tank siege up quite far away. Clem's target is going to be this third base. By hitting this third base, you're going to really put the pressure on herO to come and deal with this, because without a third, I don't think herO's going to be okay. He's going to commit in now. The Immortal's going to micro. We do have a bunch of Zealots. Wouldn't mind. It's actually pretty nice. It's some Zealots and some probes. Sentry's going down. There's a lot of bio left at the end of this. We need another Zealot warp in. more than anything, although the Immortals are standing strong. herO's army supply is low. Clem's army is hurting is the problem. He needs to try and pull back and get some medevac healing. And herO knows that Clem is just looking for healing, so he's going to chase this down and try and make him, you know, basically not get there. Immortals and a micro forward. Now we've got the medevacs loading up to evacuate as well. Not enough stalkers to punish that. Clem just needs a little bit of distance. Cut the corner off so again he can get some healing done. herO needs to be very careful with this push. There is absolutely a world here where herO pushes in and it's the absolute wrong move, so he needs to really try and not get overcommitted right now. One more Zealot gets warped in. The Prism still with a few more Zealots inside. Immortals are going to step through. The Widow Mine going to go off onto this Immortal. Pulling back, obviously. Widow Mines are really nice here. There's just no splash damage from herO. And the other thing for herO is, nice save with the Prism on the Immortals. The other thing for herO is that, obviously, in a choked up area, Widow Mines and just the, you know, the fact that those Zealots are going to get clumped up is going to be an issue. So, that said, I think herO probably has enough here overall. Barracks is going to get picked off. The Zealots, the Immortals still coming through. Command up in the sky as the SCVs are going to pull in. Just going to see the Zealots coming about. The Bioforce is going to be coming through here. And Viking is going to be hitting that Prism. Bio still trading. A lot of SCVs going down at the end of the day. I just don't think this is enough. The drop across the map is not doing enough from Clem. The second wave, I'm really surprised he didn't pull SCVs with the second wave. I wonder if it would have been enough, because he was very close to breaking through. A few SCVs, maybe he could have gotten through to the Immortals, and then you don't really have the backbone of this army. I think it's herO to truly survive it. I mean, herO loses the entire army here. I don't think that matters anymore, because Clem is so far behind. I think herO's going to have plenty of rebuild to really deal with this. That's cute. High ground position for this medevac to keep it out of sight and alive from those stalkers. Clem obviously cleaned up, and he'll try something, but there's going to be so much warp-in potential from herO, and while he did get reset, it was a very good time to get reset because he did so much damage. A third that never fell. I wonder how big a difference that would have been if Clem committed to killing the third base. Obviously, herO committed through to make it difficult for Clem just to say, yeah, I'm going to right-click this, it's going to be alright. And it's kind of a big deal right now because it takes a lot of the economy advantage that herO has and just removes it from the game, essentially. So, it's nice, and Clem's army supply is still pretty even with heroes here. Just don't think pretty even. I mean, pretty even, but he also has a +1 upgrade lead. So, you know what? Maybe there's the tiniest of chances. Maybe there is a sliver of hope still from Clem. I don't love it. It's not super pretty. It's obviously not looking great, but there's a couple things that maybe point us toward the idea that maybe it is ever so slightly possible for him to still make this happen. Might Mine drops is going to do some damage. One Might Mine gets saved. Main thing is we're going to distract as the main army moves out once again. This time herO doesn't have vision of this, I believe. Beforehand, herO has always had vision of what's going on. Now, not having vision is going to be a little bit problematic as he's going to be in position anyway. Storm is not ready. I think Clem has to play this as though Storm isn't ready. Like, you don't have the time to just pretend that you might have a chance to play without Storm. Okay, forces the High Templars into Archons because of the Widow Mines. More Zealots, though, are going to be the issue because now you've got no mines to help against those Zealots. You just don't have the splash to work through this army still. And the Zealots are just a little bit too powerful. Still 20 army supply lead. Let's not doubt ourselves just yet, but there is just that layer of tech here from herO that's just not really there for Clem at the same time. This Widow Mine will not do anything. We do load the two medevacs up and peel them around. The Prism is super low, by the way. It will die. Widow Mine gets a Stalker. By sending the medevacs down to this main base, it's actually going to be very conflicting for herO. If he has to drop a recall, he has to recall the right amount because there's going to be the attack into the third at the same time. As Clem still has the few units in the middle of the map. Pylon goes down. Obviously, that's going to depower some gateways. We're going to take the Zealot without using the mine, trying to get as much value from everything as we can. The main army is still off to the right side. Clem steps in, targets down his sentry, continues to pull back, evacuating with the medevacs. Still about a 10 army supply lead here from Clem. Again, I'm still not convinced that is necessarily going to be enough in the grand scheme of things at the moment. Widow Mines line up on those Stalkers. They step away. Again, Marauders and the Widow Mines still coming up. Bio going to find a few probes looking at long distance. Clem is relocating his main base to the third, which is going to give him a chance to stay in this a little bit longer as well. Obviously, now he has to play against Storm. It's going to be very scary, but it's not like herO has a bunch of High Templar. Forcing those High Templars into the Archons earlier was actually such a huge thing. At first, I was like, well, I think he should have just played as though there was no Storm and just focused on the Wooded Mines and the Zealots and just trying to win the fight then and there. But it's actually been kind of a long-term good investment to have had that happen, and now he's going to threaten the main once more. He needs to stop and let these Medivacs heal a little bit, though. I still feel like that's actually something we need to just make sure of, as that one Widow Mine on the low ground's in trouble. We're actually going to blink down, going to engage into this position. Widow Mine good from the right-hand side. Once again, going to have to evacuate away here, trying to get back to the high ground. herO will keep chasing. Clem has a lot of the units on the bottom of the map, remember. So can he find the chance to actually use those units? The Widow Mine hits the Prism, so he removes some of the warping potential on the other side. That's massive as well. I was going to say, but what are we going to do with everything else? I think Clem realizes he might just need to pull this back over here. Going to catch a High Templar in the back. No Storm from it as it gets caught before herO recognizes what's going on. Well, there's just a lot of units you'd love to see an EMP or 2 for right now. Those Archons, the Immortals, everything. Yeah, I mean, EMP is obviously just good, right? But it really feels like it's almost necessary right now with the numbers we're playing at. 76, 72 army supply. Clem trying to kite down to the bottom side, trying to find some value with this. He's going to stim, he's going to run, but the Medivacs are going to hunt him down. Sorry, the Stalker's going to hunt his Medivacs down. Again, long distance mining this base. I don't know if we really need to drop the scan on the base that he's right next to and has vision of. Again, needs to get these Widow Mines burrowed up. Really needs to make sure that these High Templar don't do too much. The Archons are going to eat Widow Mine shots. They're going to get softened up big time. Now you just need to try and dodge the Storms here as Clem. He does eat quite a few of them. The High Templar are healthy enough on energy to storm a second time. Of course, Clem losing any amount of mining is just deadly because that's his main base relocated. He has no real economy behind this. The natural is mining out because we are 16 minutes deep on a 2-base all-in. One more Storm from herO as he still chases through. Clem still backing away, trying to give himself space, but I think herO just denying this location of mining is probably going to be enough overall. A few probes. Obviously dealing with this one Marauder that's left over here. It will try and just be as annoying as it can. Even the Medivac, though, is out of energy. It will not get the Stalker. And Clem is dying out in the upper left as soon as these Immortals get and reach the Archons there as well. This is just going to be way too much. Former Marines going through. Another Storm onto the bio. Widow Mine taking another few shots of damage. The Zealots are still going to charge in. The Stalker's still fighting. The Archons are going to be here. The Immortals are going to be there. CV's pulled back the other way. Another nice couple of Storms, and that's going to be GG. herO claims game 1 after a very turbulent affair. After what felt like a very good position for him. Just takes forever to actually get closed out. Just Clem really doing everything he possibly could. And obviously little things like killing the third base at one point. Obviously had this, gave you this kind of period in the game where maybe herO was a little bit weaker than he should have been and so on and so forth. So GG's. All right, I'm going to jump into 10,000 feet here in a few moments. And game number 2 will be on 10,000 feet as mentioned. It's going to take a second longer, guys. herO was set as Terran, but we got Clem to leave the game just in time before it was an issue. Cool. Nothing ever gets better according to the SCT Reddit. It's not true. The whole thing you hate worker starts going to save the game. So, it's kind of, they actually do think something's going to get better. Top left-hand side, red Terran player is going to be Clem. Battling against the blue Protoss in the bottom right side, herO. To kick off into game number 2 of this best of 3, herO leading 1-0. Let me get this one set to roll. Alright, just gonna have the SCV chasing around, that probe getting pushed away a few moments, and then Gateway and the Assimilator will continue to build up for a little bit. Barracks and the SCV coming on through. Let's bring a lot of this about right now, as the SCV and the probe will nibble against each other. Command's under, about halfway done. Probe is here to nibble for a little bit. Just catching up on chat. I'm just gonna see our probe moving around for a couple of seconds then, so trying to see what's up, trying to see what's going on. Our bunker about halfway through, that factory coming along as well. And again, the commands of the building SCV on the way. For a few moments, the Marine gonna fight the probe. It is gonna go down. Just gonna see our Marine ready to jump into the bunker for the next few moments. And no guys, this is still not on the new patch. This is a live StarCraft. Yep, just got the SCV just second time in day we've seen an SCV die just before the CC was able to load it in and save it, so the Terran's having a bad day. Percival against Maxwax had a similar vibe earlier. Starport going to be done soon. Still got the Dark Shrine coming up from herO, the Gateway, the Stalker, and the Wolfgate coming up as well. Yeah, Marines and the Hellions going to fight. The Adept taking a bit more damage. Again, Dark Shrine, Gateway, Probes coming through. The Stalker and the Wolfgate coming up as well. Adept is going to go after the Hellion. The Marine is going to be there too, helping to push this back the other way. So we got that Dark Shrine coming up early here. We'll see how much chaos this can cause. There's no Raven in this game. We're going to go Banshees from Clem, so it's a great time to go DTs, making the read that maybe Clem isn't going to go Raven this time around. And obviously, at least he does currently have a Tech Lab starport, so he could make a Raven if he gets the heads up about this. Obviously, by then, the DTs would be revealed, though, and we'll have to try and work our way through that. Marines and the Hellion play cleanup. Again, Dark Shrine coming through. Robo Facility coming up. Gateway and the Probe still building. Banshee Tank, Marine, and the Cloaking coming up as well. Just going to see that Robo Facility still coming by. Just going to have ourselves the Corona Boost on the Robo Facility. Going to get that Prism on the way as well for a couple more moments. Stalkers get that Hellion drops already. It's just going to see that taken out. We're going to see the DT starting to arrive on the other side. The protection scenario is not great. We get the depot raised. Like I say, we can build a Raven in a moment. We're going to have a scan in a moment too. And we'll get that DT killed. I was going to say though, we actually do at least have the Banshee on the other side. And because this is for the Dark Shrine, the Robo's a bit later than usual. So it's actually going to be Clem's chance to get some damage done in return. Like I say, that Raven is on the way in. The Prism takes some shots as it flies straight into a bunch of these Marines. Lifts up the DT, a little afraid. Raven going to be available in a moment. We've now killed 11 workers on the side of herO. Clem has lost 7, 8. Probably going to lose close to 11 himself. He's got DTs on the low ground too, so the Raven is about to pop. 11 SCVs, 12 pros are out of SCVs to kill on the low ground. There's the Raven. The problem is coming out of this is that Clem's army is just better, right? Because Clem built into something which is obviously, you know, an investment in the Cloak Banshees, but his army is much more naturally set up to be in this next phase of the game. herO's army is going to feel the repercussions of investing into a Dark Shrine DTs for a lot longer. It was a lot more committed from herO, and so his blink is late. That's still going to be done for an attack, right? But it means that charge will be late. It means the other investments here will be late. And especially for having taken damage himself in what is essentially an equal game, you kind of look at this as like a game as though, imagine the DTs just did nothing, right? You know, it's just that DT play is so much more of an investment than the Banshee play. And so this definitely comes out heavily in Clem's favor, I would say. 7 workers down, but I just like so much more where his army is at. I don't think he needs to push right now. I think he's fine to get Stim and Combat Shield and go from there. Maybe by then, though, maybe then the advantage does dissipate a little bit. Maybe then the economy of herO does stick around long enough to kind of step back into things. Still has a DT ready to harass as Clem was trying to move onto the map, and the Prism just shows back up, so that's going to be annoying as well. Prism, he's going to be pulling back away. He's going to be seeing the Stalkers here, trying to commit through. Clem, get on the defense. I mean, this is nice for herO to get a little bit more done overall. We've seen the engineering base looking about. Impact Combat Shield coming through. The bunker setting up once again. Bunker is burning. No, I'll give credit to herO. He's buying himself all the time he needed to play catch up on some of the tech I thought he was going to be behind on with that Dark Shrine investment. It's still only 3 bases though, so maybe that'll come back to bite you a little bit eventually. Again, Rogue Bay halfway done, the Immortal coming up, couple pylons and the Assimilator still coming through as well. Alright, gonna step through, the Stalkers will take a blink back. Clem, 3rd CC building. Yeah, got some Stalker kills here. I was gonna say, he's got a couple of them super low. He does get some kills. Stalkers now blink through, wouldn't mind some trouble. And DTs are gonna come around, just gonna see a few more of those Marines still getting picked away at here. Concussive shells, the attack upgrade coming up as well. Water mine gets towards the Stalkers. That blinked away before we killed it though, so forces the water mine to hit thin air. And this herO sits just happy out the front here for a few more moments at least. +1 going to be finishing very soon. Just going to be having the Marine Marauder coming about. And the medevac coming over. Marine's going to hit that Prism. Gets the scan for the DT. SCVs had to use to block it in. We get it. That's huge. Removes some of the pressure that's on the map from herO. herO tries to run at the front. Widowmine's going to do a lot initially. I like the auto turrets. They're going to soak a lot of the Zealot time. Buys you some extra time that's needed here from Clem to get units back from that main base to the low ground. This run by on the other side of the map from Clem will get some work as it's down, starting to be cleaned up. herO gets pushed the other way. He does push this drop the other way, but like I say, the main army getting pushed the other way, and then a Colossus just arrives. herO's going to be able to save that before Clem is able to capitalize. Has to drop the recall to save it. But that is going to be good. Medevac actually had some Marines still left in it here, and she gets that to the corner, so may be able to bring that back through again soon. And +2 attack coming up. The Colossus. Probe and the Forge coming about. The Nexus coming around as well. We having +2 attack, +1 armor coming online. Robo slowly the gates coming along. The 5th base coming around on that right side as well. Continue to get that going just initially. Ghost Academy still building the starport coming through the Stalkers. Getting the Widow Mine for a moment. Going to get rid of that mine. Stalkers back through again. Bio going to step back towards the Stalkers a little. A couple of Stalkers start to go down. Chasing the Stalker Force away. Ghost Academy, starport. All coming up and online still. You're obviously establishing to the 5 bases. Clem is going to be moving towards 4 bases fairly soon, so he is going to start fighting a little bit of a longer kind of term game here, I would imagine, sooner rather than later. See how that turns out. Here, moving back onto the map again. Another round of Zealots warping in, Disruptor coming up. Have you seen the Prism Speed, the armor upgrade? Wants herO to be the aggressor. Actually punishes Clem chasing those Stalkers a little bit with a couple force fields. We lost a Stalker, we lost a few bio units. We do get rid of the Observer that's clinging around nearby, so gets rid of some of that vision that herO's utilizing to try and decide on where to attack and how he attacks. Again, still got that Prism Speed coming into play. Another Disruptor just finished up. Widow Mine's trying to target up for a moment or two as well. Widow Mine's firing in. Bio now splitting back. Couple of these Zealots going down already. Just going to see the Zealot Stalker Colossus Force continue to push through this right now. Big Disruptor hits the background. A lot of those units going down in the back. Another Disruptor shot going to land strongly. Oh, herO is just massacring this Clem army. A couple of Libs might stand strong, but I don't think herO needs more than just denying the 4th base. GG well played gets called. herO will take a 2-0 into the finals to make it a PvP showdown for the rest of the day, guys. It's going to be PvP semis, PvP finals coming up next. All right. Getting this ready to go. Alright. Classic max packs can go. So it's going to be classic max packs. The winner plays herO in the finals in today's WARDITV Mondays. No back-to-back wins for Clem, who just last week took another win to get tied back up with Max Pax's 24 Monday Cup victories. Max Pax still leading the table because he has more second-place finishes than Clem, and he could extend that today at the very least by just winning this PvP. Classic is on the hunt for his 10th WARDITV Mondays. He lost in the finals last week. herO into the finals for the 38th time. That's the same amount of total final appearances as Clem has. And he'll be looking to try and take it down over one of the Protoss players when we get there. In about half an hour or so, I would guess. Depends how long this PvP is, of course. Get that ready to go. What's up, everyone? We have crazy viewership on YouTube today. I don't know what's going on, but we have like 400 people watching on YouTube. We actually just have strong viewership in general. I mean, the games have been good, but you know, the viewership is ahead of schedule. So, what's up? Hope you guys are enjoying. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, glad you guys are enjoying. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you all. YouTube seems to be boosting SE2. There might just be the patch notes and like the patch videos getting like a lot of views. Is kind of boosting the YouTube algorithm for StarCraft, maybe. Yeah. It might just be the short-term effect of the patch news. It happens every time we get a patch. The viewership goes up for a while. There's interest in it because obviously patch. You know, patches. Patches good, changes to the game good generally. So yeah, it's usually a very short-term thing. What's up, I has Baruto? Thank you for the 54-month resub. Small wins. Small wins. It's just my swag, yeah. Small wins. Is classic max packs done? Nope, I'll be done in a moment. I'm just asking them to be ready. We should be able to kick this off. Classic max packs, then win it versus herO. That's how today's gonna play. Europe doesn't have a world-class Protoss, all Koreans. Max packs, question mark. Is gateway patch applied? Nope, this is live server, not the PTR, guys. No PTR games from us today. And Showtime's on his world class. Yeah, Showtime's pretty darn good. I mean, if he doesn't say there's no good Protoss Europeans, like my initial response is going to be max packs, right? You misread YouTube subs as Twitch subs. Yeah, that'd be pretty nuts. That would be pretty nuts. If we had 48,000 Twitch subs, we'd be running a hell of a lot more StarCraft too. We'd be running some crazy tournaments, I promise you that much. Holy goodness. What's up, Rocket Rock in it? How you doing? Hello, hello. As we are counting down into Winter Madness, guys. Top left-hand corner, we're going to start off with the blue Protoss player in this second semi-final of the day. This is classic. As we have got in the bottom right-hand side, the red Protoss is going to be max packs. Alright, so PvP time. As we get this one on the way through with the probe scouting across the map just initially. And I'll look to see what's going on to the upper left. Has anyone seen PvP on the PTR? I'd be very curious what PvP looks like with the warp gate changes. That is a matchup which would, if those changes went through, would literally never be the same again. I think so much of PvP is determined on the fact that if you expand, your opponent can aggressively warp into the other side. It's obviously so much more difficult on the PTR now with the cost of the warp gate. You know, morphing the warp gates in, it would severely depower any attack like that, so it would make surviving a little bit easier if the opponent has to invest the money to make gateways into warp gates, so... Well, here's the aggression from MaxPax. Says Classic is the one to show the fast expansion. MaxPax is going to get aggro in response to it. Robo Facility coming up. He stole a gas of Classic as well. So Classic is only going to be able to work with one gas until he gets a gas on the natural, which he actually already has now. But it does slow things down from the typical gas timing as Classic adds additional gates on and preps himself for a defense. I mean, additional gates instead of attacking suggests he wants units. We'll see if those units will be enough. Up moving around, being chased for a little bit, just having the again Immortal, Stalker, and the Sentry coming about also. See, MaxPax's gonna get ready to start putting this pressure on the next few moments, getting that ready to go. Stalker's in the depth pulling back for a couple moments as well. Stargate building, pylon on the way through. So again, we take a couple of seconds on that. We're just going to be seeing the Stalkers and the Immortal gathering up. Stargate going to be done in a couple moments. Again, the battery coming through. Here we go. MaxPax has a lot of units. I mean, the Immortal is obviously the big issue, right? The Immortal is going to be what looks really, really powerful here for the most part. Let's see how well we deal with it. Pulling a few probes in, try and help deal with this at the moment. Let's see, the Stalker's still chasing. The other Stalker's backing it up for a little bit. Getting away from there for a moment or two. We actually get very aggressive here as Classic. Still pulling the probes to force the target firing, trying to get after the Prism. He's going to get some good damage on the Immortal, but he won't kill it, which I think means he's just overcommitted through. Now he has no army supply left, and MaxPax will take game number 1. As that defense is not good enough. Classic falls. And he very aggressively chased. I feel like he thought he was just doing well enough to push this back. And then he just kept going and going and going, and it was just too much. Like, we got way overcommitted. Way overcommitted. Yeah, what's up, Eric? Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs going out to Yang, Droxid, Narco Whale, Hobgoblin, Martin Inc., and Sean DeWolf. Thank you so much for the generosity of 5 gifted subs. Appreciate it. What's the 50k YouTube sub celebration? I mean, we're probably like 4 we're like another 6 months away from it, so I haven't really thought about it. Probably nothing, to be honest. What did you do for your 50k YouTube sub celebration? I tried to get 100k subs. Yeah. You released a Christmas single? That's why I'm not going to get anywhere on YouTube. The competition's too tough. You know? On the left-hand side, it is going to be our blue Protoss player. This is a Classic down a game. As his defense turned into a chase, which turned into a mistake. And top right, our red Protoss is MaxPax. Alright, chrono boosting for a couple seconds, getting this set up. It might be about Christmas we actually get 50k subs, actually. Crazy. You can see the probes. I'll go after the other probes here for a couple of moments and get that on the way. Probie shares some probie Serpicores coming through. Let's see what kind of a game number 2 we get. We already see the expansion from Classic again, so he's coming up, deciding to get straight into the expand, and MaxPax is once again proxying a pylon up, so MaxPax being forced into the aggressive player in this series. He does not want to just expand later than his opponent. Stalker coming about, Warp Gate coming through. Again, just going to see that Gateway and the Stargate continue to come into play for a little bit, so we got all of that ready for the moment. That probe heading up to that top side. A couple of depths coming about, the Stargate will build, and the probe gets to that top corner and hide away there for a few moments. I'm going to see that Adept is moving. I'm just going to see this Adept build on the high ground as well. Stargate will finish up again. The Oracle and Adepts will continue through. Just going to have that Warp Gate settling. We do have the gates continue to produce. And we'll just get this on the go right now. Stalker, Warp Gate all coming into place. And that Stalker going to chase the Adept down for a couple of moments here, so we can get that all settled. Adept will pull back again. The Oracle, Warp Gate and company coming through. Battery and a couple of gates coming about as well. Stalker going to come across. I'm just going to see this Oracle is going to be coming through. We're just going to be having the push back there. A couple of probes are coming around. Again, just going to see this Nexus. The Oracle still building up. A couple sentries. Probe and the Stalker continue to come by. This is going to be the Stalkers are able to find this Stargate, so they're looking to depower this, and obviously so far, I mean, MaxPax obviously expands behind this, and Classic has got forward pylons coming up, so we'll see how that goes for him in terms of getting aggressive. He's going to lose a few workers to the Oracle Adept combos. So the Adepts hit the natural, distracting the units, and then the Oracles hit the main base, and that is a absolute wave of destruction. 12 probes decimated in seconds. And that leaves you kind of down a couple workers as Classic, so any advantage we got off the earlier Nexus is immediately removed. And one of the big issues I'd say from here is going to be the fact that obviously as Classic, you're now going to be in this weird position where you just don't really have very much to continue. Like, your opponent is still going to have 2 alive Oracles, keep taking advantages with through the game. You build into 3 gates again and no other tech, so you're going to be behind on tech significantly. You're walking across the map like you want to just send it, but you lost 1 pylon, so your warp-ins are going to be slow from the pylon off the left side and far away. I mean, there's a battery here that we're going to start trying to push our way through. The force field is decent to keep some probes back and stop the Stalkers from stepping back as well. We got an energy overcharge on the battery to give that a little bit more energy to keep the healing going. I mean, the numbers are pretty good from Classic. Is it enough, though? He is going to start killing a bunch of probes. Those probes obviously pulled in, designing this as a kind of way to kind of buy you time. But it's going to be, I mean, equalizing the worker kill count here for the Oracles that are still doing damage on the other side. His next battery has some energy, and that's helping a lot as well. And for now, Classic has to step away. Still has to deal with the Oracles on the other side. That's where his warpins have been going, so he's not being able to power back up on offense. And that has been a big part of what's slowed him down at the end of the day. And then Stalk's still coming through. Probes and the battery coming up. Oracles will gather around there once more. Got that blink coming through once again. Still got the battery coming in for the moment. Will step forward, just going to see a couple of those stalkers going back the other way. Oracle activating onto some probes. You'll see one more stalker going down. He's going to step through. Classic. Needs more damage. I mean, he's still taking damage to the Oracles on the other side, so he really needs a bit more here. He's going to find one more stalker. Remember that Blink's on the way from MaxPack, so eventually this becomes extremely good for MaxPack when he gets Blink. He'll be able to trade so much better than what Classic can. One more stalker being warped in. It's going to fight again. A couple of probes are going to come through. It's going to see a couple of stalkers getting chased. Another stalker going down. We continue to fight against this. Just going to see those stalkers still stepping forward here. Another stalker taking a few more shots. Going to be having the Blink continuing to play as well. So you can get that on the go. Get that started through. I was just gonna say a game. It's gonna be that. Alrighty, guys. Well, that's MaxPack's doing MaxPack's things in the PvP, being the aggressor in this series as he looks to be the first ever player to hit 25 Monday Cup victories if he wins today. He'll take on herO in this finals in a few moments. We'll get that ready to go. Oh, sorry guys. My apologies. Didn't mean to hit the microphone. Alright, kicking off in a second. Get this ready to go. Alright, I was waiting for this to set up, guys. A couple moments. Get this on the way. And thanks for joining us for some Monday Cup action. Tomorrow, WARDITV Spring Championship resumes with Group Stage 2. So we'll be having that tomorrow. I'll maybe show that at the end of the stream today. Get that up and ready, so maybe I remember. I actually haven't heard anything from Zaun. He didn't confirm anything with me, so I'm just hoping he's going to be here tomorrow. I'm going to send him one more message, but he's not been replying, so I'm hoping he'll be here. Otherwise, I'll just try and figure things out. Anyways, lobby is coming up. herO. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was wondering what's going on. Here was the wrong race again. This message Inu, who got made the host. Hopefully we can kick this off in a second. Alright, round 2 of PvP as we jump into the finals and kick off into this one. MaxPax versus herO to round things out. Like I say, this is going to be the final of two great players. This is going to be herO looking for his 22nd ever Monday Cup victory. MaxPax for his 25th. Let's see how it goes. Let's see what takes place. In the top left side, a blue Protoss player is going to be MaxPax as this best of 5 final gets started against herO in the bottom right. Our red Protoss final starts here. Best of 5. And guys, I just hadn't set up the scoreboard. Chill. It's okay. It is best of 5. Wouldn't cheat you guys out of PvP. Of course. We're going through gates and those assimilators coming about. Probe moving up. Again, there's a couple of gates coming around. These assimilators coming about. We've got the probes on the way through. And we've got that probe getting nibbled at for a couple seconds. Probie chasing Probie. Probes chasing probes. Cybercore's coming through. Gets settled for a little bit. Probe moves back and forth. Just going to see our Stargate coming up, and you're going to have a bit of a different vibe already in this PvP to the last one, obviously with herO playing into the double gateway. It still looks like he'll expand quickly, but he's not going to go one gate expanding like you saw Classic doing. And because of that, MaxPax is just Stargating at home and not becoming an ultra-aggressive player like we saw him being in the previous 2 games against Classic. So that's all been a little bit of a different approach. And you see Adept going through, Stalker coming over. Just going to be seeing the Nexus coming up from MaxPax as well, but he will have that Stargate advantage for a little while as well. As the Stalker going to fight the Stalk, so we go back and forth. 3 sentries going to gather. Good force fields coming in, just going to be able to get that Stalker. The Adept is going to be in some trouble too. Just going to take that down, so that Adept will fall. It's going to knock that down already. Twilight Count's coming up. The Nexus is about to finish. And a few sentries pulling back down for a few more moments as well. And again, just going to see our Warp Gates coming straight by. And yeah, the Blink coming up. Nexus and company coming through also. So far, so good. Oracle does drop a little revelation down. Blink and the probe still coming up as well. Like Council Forge, both continue to come up. Again, Revelation is coming down. That Twilight Council being caught, so we're going to be having ourselves Blink on the way from herO, much closer to the Blink being done from MaxPax. Like I say, MaxPax has the 2 Oracles in his favor, so that's nice. Adept still shading through. Good force fields coming down. Going to block those Adepts in. They're going to turn for a probe or so. A couple workers going down. The Oracle turned back the other way. The Adept will get cleaned out. Stalker's going to be there. Sentries as well. Still going to see the +1 and the Blink both coming across for a few moments. Gateway, probes, assimilator, all coming online. And the Blink is about to finish from herO here. Bring that up. Getting that going. Well, obviously, like I say, with herO having that faster Blink, we'll see how much he can do. Obviously, having that advantage is nice. He's going to take a faster third base. It's one thing you can do straight away. He starts to respect the Oracles, which means that if you go across the map completely, you may be leaving your mineral lines barren to defense, which could be an issue. So, because of that, he might play a bit defensive despite having the faster Blink. But of course, getting the faster Nexus is going to make up for that. Still something he can do because the Stalkers defend that very comfortably overall. One Blink still coming about. The couple Stalkers going to be there. Oracle just going to get chased the other way. So again, pushing that back the other side. The Nexus still gathering again. +1 in the Blink coming through. That Nexus still coming into play right now. The cannon is about to finish. And again, +1 in the Obs coming on the line. Just going to be seeing a Nexus and that battery coming into play. Getting that ready to rumble. Couple Stalkers just coming straight through. The Adept's still building up. Hallucination's going to move over. +1 attack just finished up from Max Packs. The +2 attack starts immediately, so that's one thing he has in his favor, that faster set of upgrades. herO's upgrades not super far behind, but it will still leave some openings where herO is maybe going to end up in some worse trades against what Max Packs is able to do as he blinks up to this high ground, finds a pylon immediately, a couple probes going down. Stasis Ward setting up. We lose the power to the gateway. Whereas the herO also has these couple of immortals which will help to bulk up his army and to undo some of the economic, unrest essentially. No, not really economic, I guess. Upgrade unrest. Being behind that upgrade, the immortals may not care about that quite as much. Stalkers and the Stasis stepping through for a few moments. And the Stalkers gather up. And +2 attack upgrade coming through. Just going to be seeing the Stalkers going to blink away again. +2 in charge all coming about. We are going to see the Stalkers readying to fight. One Stalker going down. The Stasis is going to catch a few Stalkers as well. It's a pretty big deal. The Observer, very narrowly going down, is going to fall. The Stalkers blink back up. The other Stalkers go the other way. And again, +2 attack coming on both sides. The charge building through. It's going to have that +2 still chronoing for a few moments. Well, extra gates and the cannon coming up. Islands are still building by as well, so continue to bring this into place for the moment. Stalkers are going to get jumped on. Just going to see those Stalkers getting chased away for a little bit. Already seeing the center of the map. Probe in the middle getting taken down again. +2 in charge coming up. Next in the Temple Archives coming by. Stasis Ward is about to be done as well. Dark Shrine, Gateway, Immortal, +2 attack upgrade. All of that continues. The Oracle just peeling back over to the left here. The Stalkers still pushing through, and I'm going to put some damage in. Going to get rid of the Stasis. A couple of the Zealots already beginning to go down. Additional Stalkers warping in behind everything else. And this army of herO still pushing up. A couple of these Zealots going down. Force field comes into play. So we're going to see the probes pulling into this as well. herO on a major push. He has down the attack upgrade, but maybe he just has so much it doesn't matter. He needs to save these Immortals. Right now they're up in the front, and he does pull them back via the Prism, and that's huge. You need them to survive through so they actually get some shots off on the Stalkers. Although I think the majority of this is already decided at this point. herO swinging for a Game 1 victory in this finals, looking to take down Max Packs. In today's WARDITV Mondays 89 finals, Game 1 goes to herO. He really did just come in swinging on that one, looking real powerful. All right, we'll jump into Game 2 in a couple moments. Get this red going. White Rabbit. Perfect. Get straight to this, guys. First, second game here in a few moments. Into our second, as we have White Rabbit coming up. The top right side of the map, our Blue Protoss player is going to be MaxPax. Takes on the Red Protoss, who is up a game in the bottom left, herO. I liked his kind of steps through that game. I really felt like it put him into, generally speaking, a pretty good position. There's a couple of those workers come about. Final the pro coming through. Pro just chrono boosting for a little bit. We settled down for a few moments here. What's up, Zelda Cal? Zelda Lapped. Thank you so much for the 3-stream watch streak. Appreciate you tuning in. Some mind games as we cancel a pylon early. We're trying to pretend you may do something really cheeky, but MaxPax's not really falling too much for it. And this is, of course, just the gates at home from herO, so it's nothing too suspicious. Obviously it is double gateway versus the single gateway though, once again. This time MaxPax. Let's see what he does. See if he wants to Stargate it up once more. That is typically his go-to build. We'll see what herO's approach is as well and how fast he may be looking toward an expansion in the grand scheme of this. Stargate building through, Stalker on the way up, and a couple of depths will build from herO. Looks like herO doesn't have the money to expand or anything just yet, as MaxPax will be with the Stargate almost definitely expanding. Oh, we're going to Stargate his herO. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Probe going through, Stargate and the next coming down from herO as well, so we get that on the go for now. Pull those adepts gather. Really nice with herO. You get in early, you kill 7 workers, it's massive. Especially when you're going to be playing something like Expand, Phoenix on Phoenix essentially is where we're going to. There's one Oracle from MaxPax, which is nowhere near as deadly as if you go double Oracle, but going double Oracle is very tough when it's now going to be Phoenix versus Phoenix. So herO just gets a bunch of worker damage done, and like I say, because it's expansions apiece, you kind of need those workers too. You know, oftentimes in PvP, if you do this damage on one base, it sucks, and you have to rebuild the pros, but at least your opponent is capped on economy. In this case, herO really is going to be taking quite a significant income lead because he's now 8 workers ahead on the natural, and it's going to take a while for both players to get saturated there still. So, big advantage herO in these early stages as those adepts get in. And like I say, we're just Phoenix on Phoenix, and if herO can turn this into a few more Phoenix, this is the kind of matchup that is volatile enough to absolutely swing very quickly. As we are going to warp in some Stalkers. It's kind of interesting, as obviously you just have more Phoenix right here, but then you do have to deal with the Stalkers, which obviously takes the Phoenix out of the equation a second or two. There's the Oracle, but it's going to go for a few workers. I don't hate this from max packs. I think you're kind of knowing you're behind heavily on workers, so anything you can do on workers is fine. And Oracle, giving itself up to do some worker damage right now, then maybe getting a worker or two over the course of the game, I actually think is really decent. Once Phoenix get up toward the top, Twilight Council and the Probe still building through. Probes and the Assimilator coming about. Just going to see those Phoenix are still making their way up to the top for now. Just going to get a few workers initially. Couple of them Phoenix going to hit each other. Again, the Twilight Council still coming through. Probes continue to build at the moment. Just gonna chill there. Again, Zealot so going by for a little while. I'm gonna have Blink coming over, the Gateway and the Assimilator still building up. Just gonna be seeing the Phoenix. We'll play cleanup over here. Phoenix count 2 to 5, so herO losing a couple and now deciding to switch into the Blink. If you can switch to Blink safely, then that's amazing. That's gonna be one of the most interesting parts of this, I guess. Phoenix is able to step through. That hallucination goes down already. Council kind of bristling that Blink along. We are going to see here, I mean, Blink is massive, and now he's losing some probes, yes, but he's still within 2 workers. And as he walks across the map, his advantage here is insane. herO has got Warp Gate, and MaxPax doesn't even have Warp Gate, so MaxPax was that committed to Stargate on Stargate. I mean, he's essentially, his follow-up would be Phoenix Immortal, but there's no way he's going to get there in time. As these stalkers show up from herO, this is going to be an almost impossible task. Because I just don't think there's enough, unless there's enough Phoenix to really lift these stalkers and kill them. I mean, that's the big question mark, isn't it? As Blink is done in a moment or two, stalkers are going to slow warp from that pylon. Third Nexus from herO. He's not looking to get it all done right here and now. Like I say, this can be scary if you get to like a Phoenix Immortal combination as MaxPax. There's a reason he's heading toward that. There's a reason it works. Step through, a couple of probes begin to drop. 2 workers going down. The Zealot Stalker taking some more damage. The Forge continuing to build. Just going to see the Stalkers trying for a little extra. Step through, 1 Stalker lifted into the sky. It's going to go down already. You can see the Zealot going down. Mortal and the few Stalkers coming back the other way. Like I said, I like the idea of just being here and poking for a while. The fact that this Cybercore has not finished Warp Gate is a little funny. We'll see how meaningful that is overall. Obviously, right now we're not really playing around the gateways, so I'm going to just chip down on this gate. Knock away at this. We are going to see those Immortals. They are scary because, like I say, if you have the Phoenix lift a bunch of Stalkers and you don't have enough Stalkers left to fight, things kind of start going wrong for you very quickly there, so definitely a little funky. I'm just going to be seeing the other units coming back around. Charge and the +1 upgrade still coming about. Temple Archives and the Gateways continuing through for the moment. Temple Archives gates charging the +1 all coming about. Just gonna see the Temple Archives building from herO as well. And again, Forge is about to finish. Charge already halfway done. It's getting by, a bunch of those probes going down. The Stalker's going to show up, getting over there. Again, just push those Phoenix away for a few moments as well. Stalker's going to poke onto this pylon again. Prism coming about, charging the +1 attack upgrade coming through for a few moments. We do have the Stalker stacking back over. Just going to have that Observer still being pushed away. Now, the Phoenix are going to show up and get some damage, so one of the benefits of the Phoenix is you can pretty much always do this with them. Dive in, It is interesting. You don't want to give up too many of your lifts because you do want those lifts for the fight still. Otherwise, without enough lifts, you can get overwhelmed. Let's see, a few Stalkers is going to step by, getting some damage done, pushing across for a little bit. And get rid of a couple of probes. hero's still obviously holding a lot of the map control, which is kind of typically just what his army does. We'll see if he can deny that third incoming. Again, he doesn't need to do much more than just deny the third. If he denies the third base here, I think he's going to be in an absolutely great position already. He's going to look to take this fight as soon as MaxPax moves through. He looks to get the concave on this. Shoots down the prism, so there goes some of the micro potential. The Phoenix are very late to show up. Now they're going to start lifting some units in the background, including the Sentry, so there goes the Guardian Shield for being super useful. The issue I think herO has, if any, is the fact that those Archons are quite powerful. Obviously splashing through the Zealots is decent, but like I say, if any, because it didn't really look like it was going to make enough of a difference. herO had plenty, and he stormed through. It is a 2-0 lead for herO in this finals as he looks for his 22nd Monday Cup victory. As he looks to stop MaxPax from opening up more of a gap on Clem in that first place position in the all-time Monday list. Winter Madness up next. Game 3 coming through. It is a best of 5, guys. It is best of 5 in our finals. All right. Let's get Winter Madness started. In the top left-hand side, we're going to have ourselves down to looking to keep this finals going. The blue Protoss player MaxPax taking on the red Protoss. In the bottom right side, we have herO. Game 3 could be the winning match for herO, unless MaxPax turns it around. These two always having such volatile PvPs, you never know what's going to happen. These two step into the PvP against one another. Proby chasing Proby. Cybercore's coming up. And that probe going through, Cybercore's coming about, the Zealot's coming in. I'm just going to see that probe chasing the other probe for a few moments. Cybercore is about to be done. Just going to wrap that up. And yeah, the probe is coming about for a few moments. End up coming through Stargate building. A couple Stalkers in the Warp Gate continue to produce for a little bit here. Stalker's still coming about again, the Adept and the Warp Gate coming around the Stargate building as well. Next coming around, Stalker and the Warp Gate all coming up for a few moments. Just having that probe. Seeing what's happening. A couple Stalkers in the Warp Gate building up. Getting ready to go. So on the Stalker, gonna take a few more shots. Nexus. Obviously well on its way. herO trying to bring the aggression on this game. He is going to expand as well, so he's going to throw the expansion down. Voidray on the way from max specs because he feels the pressure and he feels though there is damage coming. There's an adept across the map. He's going to see no tech as well, right? So, you see the expand? No. So yeah, if you're max specs right now, you obviously feel like there's going to be pressure, which there is. It's not like there's going to be no pressure, but it's just 2 gateways. You know, we are expanding behind this, so this is about kind of finding the right amount of response as max specs. Not overcommitting to defense. We can one-shot probes here. I think I'd like that more than going after... Well, I guess battery's out of energy, so maybe we can go after this Stalker. We're going to kill it. However, we're going to lose some Stalkers too. The Voidray showing up. Prismatic alignment is strong. New battery finishes. That might just be enough already, though. I mean, we kill a Stalker. We get some workers. You force your opponent into another battery here as well. Max Pax's Oracle gets a stasis and some lost mining time and is now going to see, bam, Nexus almost finished. So now Max Pax knows what is truly going on here. He's going to already have a Twilight Council on the way. I think he had a feeling that this was only going to be the light pressure. Hallucinations are set, so actually going to have a bit more pressure. If these hallucinations can take some damage, there's some potential. I mean, even if we just get a few probes here, we're going to like that. We're going to see some of these hallucinations. Yeah, look at that. The Voidray only working on the hallucination there initially, so that's actually going to be quite painful. A lot of damage going to be dealt for no purpose. Oracle shows up, Stalks get underneath. That Oracle gets turned away immediately. And the Stalker's just going to get patrolling. Again, Gateway pylons all coming up. Things going by, gates building through. Still got that Forge coming up as well. Going to see the Stalkers and the Voidray be moving about a little bit. Couple Stalkers. It's going to get after this Oracle. This Oracle might go down here. herO with the intercept on the right side is going to get the KO, so Oracle falling already. Stalkers in that void moving around. herO still in the center, settling for the moment. Blink is about to be done. +1 attack upgrade coming through too. The Stalkers making their way across. Okay, gonna activate. It's gonna go down too in the open. We're about to have Blink here from herO, so is he gonna blink in aggressively? Yes, because he believes he has enough Stalkers just to take this fight. So he's gonna give up the defensive capabilities of Blink to guarantee some additional kills. Continue to chase through for a second or so. I think MaxPax is gonna defend here in the end though. MaxPax is gonna be fast to that third base as well. And herO just getting his own third coming. He's gonna take the +1 attack upgrade lead this one. Sentry doesn't have a force field or anything to make too much use of. Gonna blink forward aggressively again. Gets you a couple kills, loses you a Stalker as well, though still also not exactly ideal. Stasis actually catches quite a few of the probes in this one. Stalker's going to pressure for a couple of seconds. Now we're going to see the Stalker's coming back through. I'm just going to have ourselves the +2 attack coming about, +1 on the charge coming in from Max Packs, the 2 adept shading toward the natural. Actually going to get in here, and a few probes already beginning to drop, so Workers starting to go down, the Stalker show up. Adept's taking some mega damage initially. I'm just going to get those cleaned out. 5 Workers having fallen so far. The Stalkers and the Sentry gather. Another couple of Stalkers come through for the moment. I'm just going to see a nice stasis ward to catch us for a few moments as well as the Stalkers come about. Stalkers will keep shoving just for a second or two. Again, the other Stalkers coming about again, charging the +1 coming up. The Oracle is going to recall for a little bit. +2 attack coming around. Observer cannon coming up. Stalkers, the Sentry gathering as well. Still got the +1 on the charge. Continuing to establish here. What stasis? Oh my god. Oh no! The only good thing about this stasis is he didn't blink into it, right? So herO can at least have blink off cooldown when it comes out, but obviously he's going to take a lot of damage during this. His Prism is, I was going to say, maybe actually going to have half a chance of surviving. He's actually winning this fight while stasis with half of his army. Wow, that was nuts. He's about to finish +2, by the way. Massive upgrade lead from herO. He's ready to just engage back through. Stasis is obviously now gone, and he's going to push his way forward. 4th base for Max Pack is obviously good for him long term. He's got a lot more economy, but he does not have the army supply right now. The only issue is obviously herO lost that Prism. If he kept the Prism alive during this, oh my god, another stasis he walks into, and immediately Max Pack tries to jump on this. This time I don't think herO has enough to actually turn this into something positive just yet. Like I say, at least those units will have blink when we come out of here. We're going to try and hold the high ground. The Prism can warp in aggressively now as well. Remember, we're maintaining the +2 attack upgrade lead. Warping in another few Zealots. We still don't have charge for these Zealots of herO, so they're just kind of not as good as they should be. But I guess he's just super committed to try and win this right now. Blinking forward aggressively, wants to get in here and try and trade with these Stalkers. Again, the charge lot's going to make it difficult. I was going to say, is that the Prism that just went down again? That's absolutely brutal for herO. I don't think you can keep this up without the Prism. But maybe he just has too much anyway. Like I say, no charge, the slowest Zealots of all time wander into this fight and try and stay aggressive. They're going to keep a few of the Workers busy. They somehow get a kill on the Stalker too. The Stalker counter from Max Pack is just going down as herO apparently just has a few too many Stalkers. Now he's going to start blinking away. This should give you the chance to survive as Max Pack loses Workers. That's fine in the grand scheme of things. He's still up by a bunch of Workers. herO is the one who's on an absolute timer to make this work out. He has built another Prism. It's coming across the map once again. Only 9 army supply lead now from herO, as we're also getting very close to Max Pack's equalizing the upgrades to +2 apiece. Would be big as well. There is the warp in once again. The denial of these Prisms has been one of the main reasons I think Max Pack has survived. And this attack from herO feels like one of his final efforts. Like I say, +2 is about to be done from Max Pack, so there's one of herO's advantages that's been apparent in each of these fights so far, now disappearing. Do we just have enough Stalkers still to do something? It's only a 4-Stalker lead. We're coming aggressively here as Max Pack's herO gets the Zealots into the front. Trying to fight with these Stalkers. Probes pulled in once again. Again, Max Pack is absolutely fine to pull in probes given the situation. Warp in. Looks as though it will get off here from herO. That's huge. He's still on that leading army supply. Blinking forward aggressively again. Does mean he's blinked into the Zealots, however, so he's going to take some Zealot damage. Trading Zealots for the Stalkers. Not ideal. He blinks forward again. This time he still has just the Stalker advantage. Max Pack has so many low HP Stalkers running for the hills, aka his natural expansion. We do see 2 more Stalkers warping in. The 3rd base in some serious trouble. There's the blink to deny the Prism. How many times have we seen that? But now that's an aggressive blink in from Max Pack that herO can take advantage of. Only 10 army supply left, and Max Pack will not have himself enough at the end of this to deal with herO Stalkers. Trying to warp in, but they're going to get bullied and picked off as we go. Wow. What a ridiculous game from herO. This was utterly nuts. This was utterly nuts. Obviously that 3rd base not mine. There is the 4th though, so The thing is, you get rid of the third, you just walk toward the fourth base. Maxpack's just going to say GG. Wow, well played, herO. That was actually kind of crazy. This game was just full of so many like aggressive blinks, just like, I'm going to take advantage in this exact moment sort of like opportunities. This is really crazy. This was genuinely really crazy. Damn. Damn. Alright, GG's, guys. That is going to wrap us up. Appreciate you all. Thanks for watching today's WARDITV Mondays. Hope you had some fun. herO does take it down. 3-0 in the finals as well. herO's first win in a while, I would guess. Yeah, he hasn't won since 82. So his first win in a while. Classic Clem and Maxpack's winning all of them since then. GG's. Yeah, tomorrow we're back with Spring Championship action. Like I say, I haven't confirmed with Zaun. I've not heard anything from him, but everyone else I have. So we should at least have some of the games that show up on screen here tomorrow. As you go into Group Stage 2, it'll be Group A tomorrow. Shameless, Zaun, Percival, Kua, Lambo, and Shin are going to be the players. A selection of games between those guys will be played tomorrow for 8 best-of-3s in total. And then on Thursday, we're back again with the Spring Championship Group B from Group Stage 2, featuring Skillers, Trigger, Geralt, Beyond Solar, and herO. Top 3 of each group are going to be advancing through to the playoffs, joining the guys Classic herO, Clem, and Maxpack's already guaranteed to advance there. So that's going to be coming on the next couple days on the channel. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you all. I think that's going to wrap us up. And we'll be back... We'll be back tomorrow. Just thinking if there's anything I forgot. I don't think so. So we'll be back tomorrow, I believe. Just double checking something. Cool. Alright, yeah, no, I think we're wrapped up to tomorrow. Alright, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And I will see you guys, like I say, tomorrow. Bye.